kids. It's time to get some SML podcast all up in that.
So I haven't listened to any of the podcast yet. I probably would like to, but I just haven't had any time.
Hey, you're not missing anything.
Way to sell your show.
What's up, everyone? This is the SML Podcast, episode number 205. I am your host, Joe. I am joined by Chris Huber. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling a lot more creative than I was recently. I started messing around with some YouTube stuff, and it doesn't, what I'm putting out doesn't look like garbage, so that's a plus.
Nice. So this is going to be a little different episode. Normally, our shows are split up into like interview heavy shows or like a normal show, but this is going to be like an interview heavy show with just a little bit of us.
Yeah.
Because you weren't here for the 2 interviews I did.
Correct.
So below me. How's that? There is a little bit of news I do want to address on this show, on our special either Tuesday or Wednesday release, whatever day I decide to edit this and put it out. All the Rock Band Rivals news has been announced today.
Yes. And I did my best to avoid hearing any of the news until Joe tells me.
So
we're going to have genuine reactions. And if there's anything that I have to look up, like if there's videos or anything like that, then I'll just,
there was a video, but it wasn't like, it's not too important. It was just like a little teaser thing. But first off, the most important thing is it is coming out. It has a release date.
Okay.
October 18th.
October 18th.
Yes, October 18th.
3 months from now?
For $29.99.
Okay, $30.
And it includes Rivals mode, which is a brand new asynchronous multiplayer mode where
Wait, what?
It's not synchronous online. Like, it's not the online mode coming later this year. This is
it's a different
one. It's mainly like, it's a mode where players join up remotely as a crew to battle other crews around the world. So it's like clans.
Oh, so you're just like trying to score chase as a
Stat
group?
battles, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I can get behind that.
Indeed. And then it also has a brand new campaign mode.
Another campaign.
Called
okay.
Rock You Drama, which is a playable documentary.
Okay.
It said as you go through the rise, the fall, and the rise of your band.
Okay.
Plus, of course, there's going to be new character optimizations and all that stuff, and it will include the online multiplayer coming out in December.
Okay. So wait. So it's not coming out like the multiplayer, the simultaneous multiplayer isn't going to come out until December.
Correct.
But and you can purchase that as an option separately? You have to buy that?
I believe that's going to be included in Rivals.
So if you have Rivals, then you can play online. If you don't have Rivals, then you can't play online with other people.
Correct. I believe.
Well, okay.
We need harmonics back on the show. That's what it comes down to.
I'm fine with it because I'm going to buy it anyway, but I could see some people raising a stink.
Yeah, well, if they really, really cared, they would grab it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's be fair about it.
Yeah. If you enjoy Rock Band and you're not buying the expansion, then how much do you really enjoy Rock Band?
Exactly. And it is available for pre-order now, both digital and physical. We already went over the prices before, where the band bundle is going to be $199. The guitar bundle with the brand new foldable guitar is going to be $89.99.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cheap. Holy fuck.
There are clearly some pre-order bonuses, like there always is.
Okay.
If you decide to buy at GameStop, instead of a blue guitar, you have the option of a charcoal black guitar bundle for $89.99.
Okay. I mean, I already have 2 guitars, so I don't think I need another guitar.
Yeah, well, that's up to you. Even if you pre-order online, like just buy the digital version, all pre-orders include 10 DLC songs.
What are the songs?
I know, that's the important part, isn't it? It's like we should talk about what the songs are instead of like just dicking around and like wasting time and not telling you what they are, right?
Did they not release them?
Of course they released them.
Oh, okay.
I'm just killing time and dicking around and teasing and stretching this out.
We don't need to do that. We have enough stuff to do.
True. Hey, let's be fair. That's in a different episode that is clearly not being recorded at the same time.
Clearly.
So, yeah, 10 pre-order DLC songs. They did say that these songs will be available to purchase after Rivals releases, but they're only free if you pre-order the game. So keep that in mind. They are Bring Me the Horizon, Happy Song, which I'm excited about because I like that song.
Okay.
Capital Cities, Safe and Sound, which I don't know.
I play it every week.
Shocking. I'm excited about this one. Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight.
Why?
Because it's just 90s.
Why?
Because it's 90s. Here's one you're going to hate. Pharrell Williams, Happy.
Play that every week.
Shocked. The Neighborhood, Sweater Weather.
Okay.
Of Monsters and Men, Little Talks.
I play that one every week.
Sia, Chandelier.
I probably play that one. I don't know.
Probably. Skillet, Feel Invincible.
Ugh.
Weezer, King of the World.
Is that like a new one? Or?
Yeah. And then one of my most requested songs that I've wanted for years, surprisingly not Chevelle, Semisonic, Closing Time.
So I don't care about any of these pre-order songs.
Well, if you hate those, there's 2 more songs that are Amazon exclusive bonus DLC songs that you're sure to hate even more.
Oh, great.
Maroon 5, One More Night.
What's the next one?
Matchbox 20, 3 a.m.
Dude, can we just start doing like, and for a pre-order exclusive, get a free $10 gift certificate to use on the store to buy your own goddamn songs instead of giving us garbage that we don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, the problem is if they did that, you could use that $10 to buy something else.
Figure out a way to make it like fucking rock bucks. Or I don't give a shit. Just, oh my God.
Hey, I'm happy.
Stop giving me garbage. Like, this is why I'm not as into Rock Band as I know I would be had they not shoehorned in a bunch of bullshit that I don't give a fuck about.
Well, on the bright side, I like most of those songs, so.
Well, you can have fun playing them.
I will.
By yourself, not on online synchronized multiplayer with me
in December.
Because I'm not getting them.
Well, then don't pre-order it and miss out on 10 free songs. Whatever.
I will on principle.
Save tonight. Fight
not
the
doing
break
it.
Of dawn.
Not doing it.
Here's some news that will interest you.
Okay.
The Rock Band wired legacy adapter is now available to pre-order on the PDP shop right now for $29.99.
Oh, well, I obviously need to get that so that I can get the MIDI adapter.
Yes, it specifically works with the Rock Band 3 MIDI Pro adapter and the Ion drum rocker for the Xbox 360.
I just need the MIDI adapter.
And it works with one more thing.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. No way. No.
Did you read it?
No. You don't even have to say it because I know where you're going with it. And that makes me so angry because I had one.
Where am I going with it?
The lights.
The Rock Band stage kit.
Fucking lights, man. Ugh. That actually fires me up. Why did I ever get rid of that?
On the bright side, you got rid of it to me.
But still, I could have my own lights again. That was like the best part of fucking Rock Band, the shitty ass lights, because it was like, dude, I tell you what, man, you can slave those together, and if you find enough of them, if you have like 4 or 5 of them, like 4 or 6 of them, obviously you want to be symmetrical, but if you got like 4 or 6 of those things in a room, like they go nuts. And you get the fog machine, dude. It's I
want the fog machine so bad.
Well, all things considered, like, you know, we actually have a stage show for the band that I play in, so if I really wanted to, we could set those up.
But yeah,
I have to wonder what our neighbors actually think of us, because like when we were testing out all the lights, we just had them set up in the living room, and we had to wait until it was dark out. So like all of a sudden at like 9 o'clock at night, you just go out in the street and you just see like a laser light show coming from a living room. Like,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, one more, 2 little bits of news before we jump into a review or two. Rocket League is now up to 19 million players.
That's insane.
19
so
million.
So many players.
And then Xbox announced a handful of new backward compatible titles. Last week, after we recorded our shows, they released the game Interpol, which is like a hidden object puzzle game.
Okay.
It's not like the Artifacts games where it's an adventure puzzle game with hidden object scenes. It's is straight up just hidden object stuff.
Okay.
With like a spy themed story to it. And then today they just announced, today being Tuesday, because that's how we do things.
Right.
They announced, this is a big one, Tour de France 2009.
God fucking damn it, Joe.
The Capcom sheep-themed puzzle game Flock.
Okay.
And then Half Minute Hero, which I'm actually excited about. It is a role-playing game that takes place in 30 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
There's a lot more to it. But it's...
I would hope so. Fuck.
It's a really cool, interesting way to go about doing it. But
I never played it, though.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Let's do a quick review or two.
Sure.
Did you play the game you were supposed to review?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, then let us start off with Kerbal Space Program, developed and published by Squad. It released July 15th on the Xbox One and July 12th on the PS4 for $39.99. Chris, would you like to talk about this game while I eat my chicken nuggets?
You can, yeah, I can do that. So Kerbal Space Program is obviously you hear the name and it's a space program. So it's a simulation type game. So you are literally simulating what it is like to operate and manage and fly rockets into space from a scientific organization, essentially. You're given certain parts to build your rockets. It switches over to a physics-based flight simulator-esque type of thing. So after you build your rocket, you attempt to launch it, and then you try and I say try because, again, it's a simulator, so it is rather difficult. Learning curve is pretty high. But
I was going to say, it looked pretty complicated when I saw.
It is. It's very complicated. But I will say that the tutorial, if you sit and go through, like there's an extensive amount of tutorials, but if you go through a decent amount of them, then it does give you like a pretty good explanation of how everything works, what you need to be looking for, how to like go through the UI. That was one thing I will say that I wasn't really a huge fan of with the Xbox One version. I could see how it would make a lot more sense on the PC version. So the Xbox One version is essentially just a straight up port. So you're moving a cursor with your thumbstick. And then, making all of the adjustments that you need to. The thing where it does come into play rather well is in the flight. because obviously you have to control. There's 3 different controls. It's basically your X, your XY, your XY and your Z, essentially, that you're rotating and maneuvering.
Yeah.
So you'll use both of your thumbsticks and then the triggers left and right. So flight, I could see that being a lot easier on the console version than it would be on the PC version. I went into career mode. There's 3 different modes of play. Sandbox, where basically you're just given all of the parts, you build whatever the fuck you want, and then fly it however you want. There's another mode that's I think it's just based around like the scientific mode. So you're basically just building, finding research to build more stuff to just kind of like progress in that kind of way. And then there's a career mode. I went right into the career mode. So the career mode is more based on a legitimate, like you're managing this entire facility. So like you're hiring the engineers to build the rocket. You're hiring like the people to fly to man the rocket to go out onto the space journey that you're about to send them off into, and then probably inevitably crash on the ground.
Interesting.
It's really, really like, it is very in depth. The way that you progress through the career mode is you're given basically like small contracts from like independent companies that are building specific parts for you to build your rockets. So you're trying to get like funding from them by doing like an R&D test. Like, hey, here's a parachute that we developed. Use this to try and, get your ship to land safely on the ground and not explode, hopefully. So give this a shot, but you have to make sure that it reaches above this type of an altitude and it has to stay up there for this long. And then it has a bunch of stipulations. If you end up succeeding, then you get extra funding, and then your crew members gain experience so that they can do better stuff. There's a skill tree that you can go through that you can research things to build bigger and better things. It can get out of hand pretty quickly. The space exploration part of it is, I'll admit it, I had to watch other people play it because it was very difficult for me to get myself to that level.
All right.
Because again, like
you're a scrub.
Dude, it's complicated. Like it's a very complicated game. But once you get through it, it is fun. Like it's deceivingly fun. I ended up like kind of zoning out a bit and just going like, all right, well, I'll add this part, and then I fly it up, and then I'll do like, there's certain research that you can do during your flight, so that will gain you extra science credits, and that's how you kind of progress your skill tree. So I'm like, all right, I'll do this, and then I get a little bit more science, and then I'll research this, and then I'll use this and then just kind of slowly progressing myself up. And then I got to the point where I was building things and starting to make my way into orbit, and almost got something to land on the moon, and then make its way back. But it failed once it left the moon. But it like just that little bit of accomplishment, because when you start out, it's essentially the equivalent of like trying to do the old like fucking. I don't know, like the old bottle rockets like the water pressure bottle rockets that you would make at science class. Like, it's just like, wow, that really sucked. Like, I'm going to try and do this again. And then you learn a little bit more, and then it gets a little bit better. And you're just like, oh, okay. All right. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. And then you build another one and it gets even better. And you're just like, all right. Like, the progression's really cool because you're seeing it in real time. Like, and it's because you're fucking learning rocket science, like straight up. Like, you need to know how to set up your rocket. You can technically automate it the way that you have everything set up. Like, I had mine set up so that my parachute would automatically deploy if I was at a certain elevation. Or you can just do it manually and try and time it. But I saw a lot of people online before I even started playing it. I tried to watch a couple people play it first, and they're trying to do everything manually, and it's just like, oh, they do it well the one time, and then they do it really poorly the other time. So I'm like, I'm going to try and eliminate as many variables as I possibly can and just get it all on a strictly timed thing.
Makes sense.
It's cool. It is really cool. My one main grievance with it is it was obviously ported over from PC, and the UI, it can be clunky.
Yeah.
It gets a little... I found myself getting frustrated with not being able to do what I wanted to do quickly with the controller, and accurately with the controller in certain
which
menus.
We have seen before in some games on our show.
Right. Yeah. But it, if you don't have a PC to play this on, and this is your only opportunity to play the game, it's a good port. It's still.
I know you've been looking forward to this one for quite a while. Was it worth the wait? Are you happy with it?
It's I'm glad that I waited until now to give it a shot. Just because it was something that I definitely had to put some time aside and really focus in on what I was doing, because you can't just breeze into a game like that. You really got to sit down and go, you have to be very analytical. You have to be in the right mind frame to play this game. You can't just sit down and be like, I'm just going to have some fun and just
you can around for 20 minutes. No.
Yeah, I mean, you technically could. You could just I'm just going to build a dope ass rocket and try and see what happens when I fire it off into space. You can do that, but I went into it with the mindset of all right, I'm going to play this game the way that it was intended to be played, and career mode by most standard is how you're supposed to play the game. So I just jumped into it on that front, and it's a lot to take in. Yeah. So if you're not prepared to really retain a lot of information, have to do a little bit of homework, then this game might not be for you. But if you're okay with that, then yeah, you can waste a good amount of time with it. I can fairly say that I got my enjoyment out of it.
Nice. Do you think the $40 is too steep, or is that pretty good? Because I know online on Reddit I saw a lot of people $40. I thought this was going to be 20.
I could see it at 20 as well. I have to agree. I think $40 is a little steep for the console version. I mean, this is a game that, don't get me wrong, it's on Steam it's about 20, yeah?
I have no idea. Let me open up Steam and I'll look.
If not, it goes down to that, if not cheaper.
It's
on a regular
40 on Steam, so
okay.
That's the full price of the game.
I mean, I could see it. I can see someone picking it up when it's on sale, but at the full $40, I feel like there's other games at a $40 price tag that you can get more well, I can't even say more longevity, because you're fucking exploring space.
Yeah.
I think the majority of people may end up getting burnt out on it after a certain amount of time and just move on to something else. But the hardcore simulation fanatics will they'll be in heaven. So if you're super into the simulation kind of stuff, yeah, the $40 price tag is probably fine, because there's other simulators that are arguably way worse at that price tag. If you're not crazy into simulation games, wait until it goes on sale, maybe. I mean, I would look at it at 25, maybe.
So as it stands, what is your verdict?
I would say try it. I wouldn't automatically go right to a buy it, because it is a very niched game. You're either going to really like it or you're really going to hate it. You can find some redeeming qualities in it regardless, because it is a good game, and you should be able to recognize when you play a good game.
Yeah.
But to fanaticize it and really be like, oh my god, this game is the shit. It's that wasn't my feeling going into it, but I understand the appeal, and I still had fun and I still enjoyed it. So I would say try it before you buy it, But if you are considering buying it too, maybe wait until it goes on sale. Because a $40 price tag's a little tough to choke down right now.
All right. Next game that we could talk about on this show, and then we'll toss over to our interviews, is called Rev Ersi Quest, developed by Yokogosystems, published by Pollyanna Co. Limited, released back on July 15th for $14.99. Do you know what Rev Ersi is?
Othello?
Yes.
Yes.
This is an RPG based around Othello.
Wait, what?
Yes.
All right, what was it?
All right. So basically there's the storyline is that your two brothers and the kingdom was split between the two brothers. The one is constantly in financial troubles, but it's not really any fault of his own. But the other brother has been helping, and now his people are getting upset at the fact that he's been bailing out the other brother. So it's going to come down to war.
Okay.
Because that's sibling rivalry. The gameplay is very much laid out like a board game where there's a start, there's a finish, and then there is a bunch of stops along the way. The first time you play the level, nothing is revealed. So you'll roll a die and you'll move that many spaces, and then whatever is on the space is the action that you're going to get. Either like a store or like a treasure chest or a battle. And the battles are all carried out Othello style.
That's so interesting. Like, that's so
there are a preset, number of pieces that are laid out when you start, and then you roll for initiative. Whoever wins gets to go first. There's a bunch of different pieces that you can unlock through the game. It's like some of them, depending on where the pieces are laid out. If you normally in Othello, when you have a piece down, the goal is to trap your opponent's pieces between where you set a new piece down.
Right.
In this game, depending on the pieces that are laid out and what you put down, if you put a piece down and it's just connecting any other piece of yours, it'll convert theirs to yours, like normal. But if you say you have a healer and you put down a healer, whatever's in between there, that number heals you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or if you have attackers, like say you have a level 2 attacker, which will do 2 damage, and then you put down another level 2 attacker, and there's 2 spaces in between.
Okay.
That you convert to yours.
Okay.
Those 2, at 2 damage each, damages for 4.
Okay. Now, they have to be attackers on both sides?
Yes. Otherwise, if it was a healer and then an attacker, they just convert them to yours.
Okay, so not only are you trying to match up your colors, but you're trying to match up specific types of your color.
Yes.
That's cool.
It is really cool. It is really strategizing. There's a lot of strategery in the game, as
is that so?
Dear departed President Bush would have said. Not that he's dead, he's just not president anymore.
Dearly departed.
Yeah, it is a really, really cool concept. There are some problems with it, though. First off is the UI in the game is just sloppy. It's not very intuitive to switch between menus and everything else. It's a lot like Kerbal, where the analog stick is basically moving a cursor around.
See, now on a board game on something like that, I could see that because that's turn-based, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So like that I can see, but on Kerbal, like there's certain stuff that you have to do like in real time.
Yeah.
While still like, so you're flying the ship up, and then you had to like exit off to the cursor mode, go over, cursor over something, click it, do all this other stuff while still attempting, but you would lose function of trying to fly the ship. Like, when you were in the other menu, so you'd have to quick like switch over to the other one and then regain control. It was a mess.
Yeah, it's clearly not going to cause you to lose in this game. It's just more of a nuisance than anything.
Okay.
Like it feels like they could have had a more refined UI to the game. Like even on the main menu, or not the main menu.
Is this a port or no?
I don't know. I would assume that it was, but I don't know. Let's fire up Steam. Is Rev Ersi Quest on Steam? Store. Rev Ersi. I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe that was just the best way that they decided
Maybe.
would get the point across. I don't know.
Yeah, it's awkward to play sometimes. Like it's not going to kill your game, but it feels weird. Another thing is that this game, you could tell the developers are not native English speakers. I have found a number of typos, a number of just grammatical inconsistencies in the game. Like, it seems like a fairly rushed translation. Or a fairly lackadaisical translation. I mean, it gives it some charm. Like, you could tell that actual people made this game.
Well, that's good.
But it's still, like, I found myself chuckling at stuff that I probably normally wouldn't have been chuckling at. It's just how it was worded, or, like, the one, it was like potions, but there was just a 1 in the middle there.
Okay.
Like, it just, typos and it just weirdness. But the actual gameplay, it's just so addictive and so fun, because not only do you want to keep progressing through the story, there's like 10 chapters to go through in the game, but you want to replay those earlier levels to uncover the board completely and be like, what was in that space? What was in that space? What was there? What was it? It's really cool stuff. $15, I'm not sure with the UI issues and the translations. I'll give it a try.
Okay.
If it was a cheaper game, it would probably be an easier buy. It's just fun and entertaining, and it's unique. Like, I've never seen a game like this come out before. It's so cool to see genres merged and melded, and just the weird shit that comes out these days.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, two try-its from us this episode. We're going to kick it now to some music from the game Ninja Pizza Girl. And then we will jump into an interview with Ryan Davis of the game Adventure Lamp, and then another interview with Jason and Nicole Stark of Ninja Pizza Girl.
Cool.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
So do you have any final words to end this section of the episode? Good enough. right, my guest at this time, I am joined by Ryan Davis of Ryan Davis, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a lone man band.
You don't have a company name. You're just Ryan
know,
Davis.
I used to have one, but it lingered from when I was 13, and I figured it was about time to just be an artist and not a pretend company.
What was the company name?
Creative Ink Games. You might still see it lingering in some things here and there. But
I'll have to look.
Yeah, I made my mom a birthday card, and out of a printer paper, I folded it over and I tried to make it look like a Hallmark card. And I knew that on the back they had company names and stuff, and so I thought I was being cute. And when I started making games, I just put that on it, and I never had the heart to change it. Now I think, do I really want to be a pretend company I started when I was 13?
Well, I mean, Creative Ink Games isn't a bad name for a 13-year-old to think up. Like, it could have been like Badass Games Extreme.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it could have.
Which now I kind of want to see a company called Badass Games Extreme Limited Company.
You know, they might do rather well, actually. So the hook was that it's ink with a K. And it always had like drippy stuff, and I don't know, it was fine. Like I still like it, but I decided lately, with the Steam game coming out, I should probably, honestly, one of my favorite games is Thomas Was Alone, and I liked how Mike Bethel just had his name on the front.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I'm gonna do that.
Isn't he just like Mike Bithell Games though, or is he just?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's games on it.
So you're gonna be Ryan Davis Games?
I don't.
With a Z?
Oh.
Was the creative in Creative Games Inc. Did the creative have a K?
No.
Because that would have been extreme.
Yeah, and it would need like 90s pink and blue texture all over it.
God, the 90s. Oh my lord. I miss the 90s. Oh man. So Ryan Davis of Ryan Davis, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm enjoying talking to another human. Last few days I've been just yelling at my computer instead.
Oh, that's always fun. For the people who don't know, you just released your game Adventure Lamp on Steam, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, Friday. So, yeah, a couple days ago.
So it's out 2 days now, which clearly you have full sales figures for, and you can map out your entire career now, right?
Sure.
For the people who don't know what Adventure Lamp is, give us the sales pitch. Tell us what the game is.
All right, so Adventure Lamp is a game about losing your hat. It's a puzzle platformer, kind of like if Kirby and Super Meat Boy had a baby. Try not to imagine that too much. But
I could kind of see the resemblance.
So the idea is you're this explorer who's fallen in a cave. You're separated from all your stuff. Totally disempowered in many ways, but you just have your mining helmet hat with the light on the front. And you have to use that to defend yourself and to solve puzzles that, throwing to reach buttons far away. And it came from, for anyone who might be familiar, there's a game jam called Ludum Dare. It's or Ludum Dare, however you want to call it. And it's a 48-hour make a full game competition. It got 17th overall out of a couple thousand. And the prompt was unconventional weapon. So that's where it came from.
The hat.
Yeah. So it's just a physics object. When it gets too far away from your head, it falls down and flops around. And it was such a fun interaction, I decided to make a whole game out of it.
Nice. I gotta say, I love the art style of the game. As simplistic as it is, it's a really charming art style, and I love the animation of the hat.
Thanks.
It is
I do too. Like, within 5 minutes, these black boxes, the black box approach, and just even there, like, the hat and the squishiness of the character was so compelling. Like, I think that's why the simple art style works well for it, because the movement says everything.
And it's a very fluid, well-animated game.
Thanks. I found early that if I take just basic things like movement speed or angle, that sort of thing, and I hook it up to parts of the main character, like the width of his image and the rotation of him, then the animation kind of does itself, which is cool. It just kind of came to life.
Plus, you're one of those rare people that released a game on Steam, an indie game that's not pixel art. Which is very unique in this day and age.
Yeah, I love pixel art. I used to make pixel art games when I was a kid, but I'm not that good at pixel art, and I think I came to terms with that.
Well, is all this stuff like all hand drawn?
Yeah, mouse drawn.
That works. Close enough.
Yeah, I just use Inkscape. It's kind of like Illustrator. It's just a vector program, and which helps a lot for mouse. I do have a tablet, like a drawing tablet, but honestly, I'm not very good at it. I get it. I use it for big gestural things, like if I'm doing backgrounds that I need not to look forced. I try and like scribble landscape stuff in the background, and then I go over it with a mouse. It seems to help. So, but for the small stuff, mouse is great. Just a bunch of circles and squares. It's the whole game.
Yeah, it's very complex. I like it though. It's minimalistic, but it looks good.
Thanks.
Like, it's not too bare bones. It's a good looking game. I dig it. Yeah,
there was a time when it was bare bones. Like, for the first few months, I realized it was just like for anyone who hasn't played it, so the main character is a bit of a blue square, a little like Super Meat Boy without arms and legs.
Hence the Kirby.
Yeah, and the hat is on his head, which luckily defines his silhouette. Otherwise, he'd look like every other square indie game character, right? And the platforms that you stand on, they're just tiles. Most of them at the beginning, they're blue tiles, and they're just squares. And for a long time, that's all that it looked like, and it was bare bones. So I had to figure out how to bring the world to life a bit more. I added vegetation and stuff. Joe, you've seen that.
Yes, the birds and the butterflies and
yeah, and I think it helped. I think it brought it to life a bit. But I did walk that line. Minimal and blank are very similar.
Yeah. There's just enough to give it life in the.
Yeah, and a lot of effort and thought went into that. Like, overpopulating it's fairly easy. So I had to figure out what to put in that would suggest this is a living world without eating up all my memory and honestly all the visual attention you can give it. Like, if everything's moving, then really what's important? What do I look at?
Yeah.
So.
Then it could just get cluttered and ugly.
Yeah. And who wants to solve puzzles when there's clutter? Like, what's important? How do I get through this? What am I supposed to be looking at? If everything's moving around and flashing for your attention, it's sometimes hard to complete a puzzle. So it's all, the whole thing's a balancing act.
Can't focus if there's nothing to actually focus on.
Mm-hmm.
You're being drawn to everything.
Yeah. So have you been able to play the game?
I think I'm about halfway through it.
Okay. What section are you in?
Let me check my achievement. Because That's how I figure things out. I'm playing so much crap lately that I just can't remember what I'm.
Oh yeah, I hear ya.
I reached chapter 4.
Oh, so you. Oh well, I don't know how much I should spoil, but you got through the wind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my
which was
favorite areas.
really entertaining. That was very well done.
Thanks.
It takes me back to the days of Ninja Gaiden and the goddamn wind and the goddamn birds and.
Yeah, again, it's a tightrope. Like so I've had some people since launching say it's too easy, which is a real shame because they didn't clearly, and I know because I've seen how long they've played, they didn't get to the later levels because it gets pretty tough. And during testing, actually, I asked if people could record, and so testers would do kind of let's play style, and there was one guy who kept coming back. Like he wanted to play, clearly. He kept sending me videos, but some of them were like 10 minutes long, and he would end with him getting up frustrated.
This fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, right? And then it was over. It was like, I'm never seeing him again.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But then he'd come back. So I've been writing that line for a long time of fair but hard, and I don't even know if I wanted to hit the hard mark. Like, I want it to be challenging, but I honestly, like, I don't like playing Super Meat Boy. I don't know if you know the history of super hard platformers, but there was one called Jumper.
I have not played that one.
Actually, there's a reference in Super Meat Boy, the Ogmo character, for anyone who might have unlocked it. It's a reference to Jumper. And actually, Matt Thorson, the creator of, Towerfall, one of his teenage projects, when we were all kids, was Jumper. So it's like this community of people who've been growing up together making the same things. But I played through Jumper. It's very similar to Super Meat Boy, but I think that time has ended for me. I don't like rage.
I can understand that. A lot of games that we've been covering on this show lately have been like really tough games, and I personally, I can see the appeal that people have for them, so I have to be objective when I cover those and be like, if you're into these brutally tough games, you're going to enjoy this. But personally, I'd rather, beat the game. Yeah.
Like, I get that the more you've worked for it, the bigger the payoff and emotionally, the sense of achievement, that sort of thing that you get at the end. I understand that. It's just not worth it to me to get there. Maybe it is to other people, but I wanted to make a game that I would want to play as well. So I think what I did, especially in that saying that it's like a mixture of Kirby, is actually the developer of Kirby made it to be easier than Mario. He did that by expanding not the hitboxes, the area where you could affect enemies, and that's where the sucking thing came in. So in Mario, there's really high risk reward because you have to get right next to them. And if you jump and you land next to them on the floor, they could walk into you. So there's a lot of tension there. And he purposefully lowered it for Kirby, which I thought was really fascinating. So anyway, I did similar things with this. I wanted it to be, they're jumping puzzles and such. But I lowered it on purpose because I want it to be more about the physics interactions of the hat. And that can seem pretty unfair pretty fast. So I wanted it to be very clear what your goal is, and then very executable. And it's more about the aha moments of seeing things differently. Because who sees a hat that way?
True.
I've never seen it that way.
Yeah, when I first played it and I saw the hat flopping around when I jumped, I was like, oh well, this is a fun little addition to the game. And then I realized, oh, I could throw the hat, and oh, I need to throw the hat.
Yeah, and half the fun of games is getting you to see things differently. And so I didn't want to just remake something that other people had made and hope to cash in on it. I wanted to do something new, And I'm hoping this is new enough. That's the thing. Like, it has to be new enough that it's fresh. It can't be so new that people don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was pretty successful. I'm very happy with it. Even if it's a financial failure, I'm so proud of this game and so in love with it.
How long have you been working on it?
Since April 2015. So
A little over a year. That's not too bad.
no, though it definitely consumes my thoughts. After like the several month mark, it's like your life. This is what you do.
I made this decision. Like, I'm seeing this through the end. Well, I'm still doing this show. I made the decision that, hey, I'm going to do a weekly show. And now I'm in too deep. I'll stop when I die. And given I'm obese, that might be soon.
Oh, no.
Our listeners will be sad for about a week.
Oh, hopefully not.
I'm sure someone will carry on with this. Maybe. Probably not.
So, I can babble on forever, and clearly I already have.
Yeah, that's the point of this show, is to babble on. Yeah,
that's true.
That's why you're here. That is why we are recording right now. So you can babble on about your game.
Yes, true.
Very much the point of a podcast.
I've listened to others where they've had someone on, and I'm interested to hear them, but then I can sense like the host is unable to speak as much as they normally do, and it's sort of cringeworthy. So feel free to butt in.
Oh God, the more you talk, the less work I have to do. Come on. Why would that bother me? Give me a warning if you're going to start a long story. I'll go make a sandwich.
And you just be like, oh yeah. That's fascinating. Let's see.
That's a good story. So is this the first game that you've made?
Oh, no. Okay, so I think I mentioned before, so the company name started when I was 13. Shortly thereafter, my dad found Game Maker, and he burned it to a disk with some free resources he found. I don't think he even remembers this, but I will never forget it because it changed my life. I don't use Game Maker anymore, but I used it for 7 or 8 years. And I made a bunch of little prototype things. Most people who make things have a long list of half-finished, broken things behind them.
Yeah.
And I have many of those. I don't have the code to them anymore, sadly, but I made, the first thing I made was called CompuVirus 2.0. There's that kid title, right?
Yeah.
And these little viruses just bounced around on the screen, and you had to click on them to get rid of the viruses. But they would just jump to another part of the screen and bounce around faster. And the goal was to get as many points as you could before the viruses were moving so fast that they spazzed through the walls.
Oh, God.
So, that was my first, but then I made kind of a long train of disconnected games. Like, I didn't find my voice for a long time. There's one called Pixel War, where you're flying a ship that's just a pixel big, and you're shooting at other pixel-sized ships, and it was pretty fun. I still have it, and it's over in like 5 minutes, but it was a fun time.
Everything is just a single pixel?
Yeah, like the bounding box for them, so your laser there's a little grace on where it can hit, but the thing was, I was terrible at art at the time, and anyone can draw a pixel. So the aliens were bright green and the humans were bright yellow, and you shot red lasers and gray missiles. That was pretty cool. They homed in and everything.
God. kind of interested to see this game, just to see how small everything is.
Yeah, I've got an EXE I can send it to you. Sadly, I can't point the list because it was on the Game Maker Yo-Yo Game Sandbox website for years, but a month or two ago they brought the whole thing down, which is a shame. But a lot of history just gone. But I don't want to pay their server costs, so I get it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think Wayback Machine or whatever it's called, the thing that records the internet as it's going.
Yeah.
I think it's still got some footprints there, but I made sure to download my stuff before it was over. But anyway, I made games. So I've played games my whole life, but once I hit 13, it was like I realized I was more interested in making things than consuming them. And that's just like a pattern throughout my life. Like I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I don't watch a whole lot of movies. I love to draw and paint and pottery and make games and write and play instruments and stuff. And I'm just pointed out rather than in. So it became my hobby. Like instead of playing games, I was usually in my room making something. And about the time college came, I decided that I was going to grow up and do a real thing, I guess. And so I did that for my college years. And then afterwards, I realized that I really loved making games and I missed it. So I went back. And about that time, Game Maker changed its pricing scheme. And at the time, it was really outrageous. And I had been a paid user for years, and I was just suddenly dropped off the wagon, like, bye.
That's shitty.
Yeah, now you can buy our. The pricing model's changed a lot, but at the time it was like, I was now, I understand that I had like consumed my value in. I had a $15 paid license. Let's call it that. And then they jumped to $500, which is still pretty high. But looking back, they probably had earned that much for me.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
Well, that's
it was
a
too
lot
much.
of money. Holy.
Yeah. Well, that's what licenses cost for most things. So they were trying to be more legitimate, and they have been. And I wish them the best. It just was my point of departure. And I found something called Construct 2, and at the time there was a big scene for making HTML5 web games for mostly for websites like Newgrounds or any of those Flash portals, but for your phone, because mobile devices don't run Flash, right?
Yeah.
But HTML5 games, things written in JavaScript, they do run on your phone or your tablet. And so these websites were popping up trying to be the next Newgrounds. I'm not sure any of them succeeded, but there was some money in it for a little while. And so I made about a dozen tiny phone games and a couple apps. For anyone who cares, there's a free game on either App Store, iOS and Android, called Precarious Potions. I'm pretty happy with that. I made $15 on that thing, but I'm really proud of it, and it's still a great game. It's another physicsy one, actually. You try to get potions down off of stacks of books by blowing the books up with magic, trying not to break the potion. Anyway.
I am looking for it now on my iPad.
Good time. It taught me a lot about level design, because before I did that, I didn't know how to make levels at all, and the puzzle creation and stuff like that, I had to learn it from the ground up, and that taught me a lot about it. So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, you have a 4.5-star rating, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, everything went well. People loved it, and the App Store is what it is. It just didn't get the number of downloads to get. There aren't any ads there now, but I had some form of ad thing at the time. It just didn't get enough traffic to make any money, but I'm so glad to have made it.
Oh, that's what happens with, things like Android and iOS, where there's just so many games available.
Yeah,
it's hard to make your mark sometimes.
There isn't a market that doesn't have that problem. So, I launched on Steam this weekend, and it's got a similar problem. Like, people either care about your stuff or they don't. And making stuff is hard. That's just the lesson that I take from this. Making stuff is hard, and it's kind of it's an exercise in plugging away at it, and waiting out the people who drop out before you.
Well, I know you're aiming to get Adventurelamp on the Wii U as well, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you expect that it's going to perform a bit better since the Wii U isn't really like swimming with new releases?
Yeah, and it seems to be like the right aesthetic for it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
I hope so, but what I've learned is not to count your pennies. I have no idea how it's going to do, but I know it belongs there. Maybe a business exec from EA or something wouldn't talk that way, but I'm an indie who wants to make things and is happy to make them and wants to get it out there. I want people to play it.
Yeah.
And the Wii U is a great place to play it. So it is certainly on the table. Steam's consumed my time lately.
Yeah.
But when I've got the time, yeah, absolutely. I've had someone approach me who would like to help, which honestly would be good because there's never ever a button that's just like port to whatever.
Yeah, we hear that a lot on this show.
And it always sounds like it. Like, oh, this works on the Wii U. Like if you go to the Construct 2 webpage, they say that, and it is true. And there's a lot that goes into it. Things like, oh, well, by the way, that setting doesn't work on this platform. And it's not up front. Like they don't, not that someone's hiding it, but just because it's an edge case, it's not likely to come up until you tried to use it. And it didn't seem like it would break it, but on the Wii U or on Windows 32-bit or on Mac with this operating system, something that you would never think would be a problem is suddenly a showstopper. So it's like closing your eyes and walking around in a field of Legos.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
You can't see it. You won't see it. You just have to walk forward.
Would you talk like that? That is evil.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as I still remember a video online of like the most graphic wrestling video of all time where a guy pulls out a bag and he just dumps Legos onto the mat. And you're thinking, oh my God, is it going to be tacks? Is it going to be broken glass? No, Legos. And the crowd lost their shit because they knew that was going to hurt.
Like those little bricks. They bring such joy and anguish.
I'm scared to have kids one day because I know I'll end up getting them Legos and my feet won't be ready for it.
Yeah, it's sort of an unavoidable part of having children, isn't it? Legos are a must.
And at least now, when I step on things, it's either cat toys or cat vomit. So,
well, hopefully Minecraft will completely consume the Lego market, and you won't have to deal with it.
I like how they're releasing Minecraft Legos. Like that's just fucking called Legos.
Honestly, like I stood in the aisle and looked at them. I'm imagining like this little table where I get a bunch of sets that are enough that there's this whole little Minecraft world, and then I reeled myself back into reality and I walked away from it. But man, it was tempting for a minute.
I should buy more Legos.
I was sick the other, well, can't say the other day. It was a month or two ago. Anyway, I was sick, and my wife showed up with a little box of Legos. Like, you know, you build a little car, there's a little buggy or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably 20 Legos are in there, but it makes a car. And it made my whole day so much better.
I picked up that Lego Dimensions. It was like $35 or something the one week at Best Buy.
Yeah, was it any good?
I honestly, I haven't played the game yet, but I put the portal together.
That's so funny.
Just sat down. I'm like, well, I had the bag sitting out because I was like, I'm going to take care of this, one of these days. And like, I started it and then something took my attention. So I set everything down and the cats knocked it over. So I'm like, looks like I'm finishing that now.
I love that you actually just played with the Legos and you left the game alone.
Yeah, I'll get to it. I can say I'll get to it because chances are I won't.
Yeah,
but if I tell myself I'll get to it, it justifies the purchase. Clearly.
Oh man. Honestly I think that speaks volumes for Lego and the value of their product.
Yeah. They're just fun to put together. It was just I felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking Legos. They're awesome. Legos will always be awesome.
Yeah, they will. So, with Adventureland, I tried to put a lot of that kid stuff in, because I find when adults start playing, they realize how much they've missed it, because adults aren't supposed to play.
Yeah.
But I think Pokemon Go has shown that everyone loves to play with their imagination.
Are you balls deep in Pokemon Go right now?
So deep. It's fun. I'm really enjoying it. And honestly, as a designer, I'm fascinated, horrified, and all the other things about what's going on, because it's like an MMO that's lost its client, and it's like it never turns off, which is cool, and it's got implications, right? But as I was walking around looking for a Pikachu, which is not in my area, there are no electric Pokemon in my area. Anyway, tangential. I realized, like, I was watching people play on their own, and I thought, I am literally walking around playing a game with my imagination, and I'm so into this. And I bet they are too. And it's not just the game that you're holding. It's like this sense, like you look up from the phone and the world around you has a shinier veneer on it, because everything might have meaning now. Yeah. And so I think that people like to play, and adults sometimes forget that, because you got a lot going on. Life is life. But so when I make something, I tend to spin it towards playful things that are a little more innocent, I guess. And I think that shows through in Adventureland. That's well, it's at least what I get from it. But I'm so close to it now. Like, I think there's some errors I've made along the way, and it's totally because I can't see inches from my face anymore. It's just I'm like, let's see. For one, anyone who makes a thing, they're so sure that it's going to be the next Undertale or whatever, because to them it's the best. And I think that's inevitable. There's really no way around. It's hard to be objective. But I think it's also a huge asset to be really in love with what you're making, and it shows through. When you're burned out, the work that you make tends to be really crispy and half-hearted.
Yeah, if you don't believe in your product, who is? Man,
no one's gonna believe in it.
And that's why I don't believe in my show. One day I will.
You should all leave. This isn't worth your time.
No, I always joke about that, but I know if I didn't care about my show, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you wouldn't get to episode 200. I think you said 205.
205.
I may be wrong there. But, jeez.
Yeah.
That's a lot of clearly a lot of care.
Allegedly.
It's a lot of showing up. Right?
I think the effort I put into our 200th episode contest, that if you're listening to this episode right now, you've already missed out on it. So tough shit for you. You, who I'm interviewing right now, you still have a day.
Oh.
But by the time this episode comes out, time limit's over. Like, goodbye.
I'm talking to Doctor Who right now.
Exactly. This is time travel.
It's wibbly wobbly in here.
But I ended up contacting like a whole bunch of companies that we've reviewed their games or done interviews with over the past year or so on the show to put together a massive prize package for our 200th episode. And we have like nearly 50 different developers who've contributed prizes to.
Wow.
And just the fact that I worked that hard to get a prize package for my listeners shows that I care a little bit about this show.
Yeah, you should. Is one person going to get all 50?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. The value of the prize package, just digital stuff, because we have a box full of physical stuff as well. Yeah. Digital only is worth over $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not just 50 games, it's 50 developers. Like, some of them chipped in 3 games, 2 games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit to win.
So that listener's probably listening right now, and I want to send a message through time. Congratulations. Holy cow. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's still time. If you want to kick in a copy of
I would love
Adventure Lamp, bring it on.
I want to get in on that. I'll send you a key when we're done.
And then you can enter the contest yourself. And try to win it back.
Yes, I got my game back.
Fuck the rest, I got my own. Yeah, we've been doing the contest for a good month now, and all it comes down to is I told you before we started recording that our show originally stood for small, medium, large, and is the current name since episode 25 is Someone Might Listen. Which that, again, won its own contest.
That is amazing.
But now, because we're 200 episodes in and we have listeners, we know that someone's listening.
Yeah.
So the challenge is to rename what the SML stands for.
That's cool. I like that it's a fluid concept.
Yeah. Just redefine our initials. And again, if you're listening to this episode right now and you didn't enter our contest, fuck you, you missed out. You had a month to do it.
Now I'm trying to do it. It's really hard not to, isn't it? Like, you get acronyms in front of you, and suddenly it must be completed.
I had one of my friends, Sean Stone, Ale Sean musician, who, after I posted about it on Facebook, pretty much every single thing that he would talk to me about, he would write in SMLs.
That's cool. That's
so after
really
a while,
great.
I just told him to stop milking laughs.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's been an awesome contest, and I'm honored that I have so many awesome partners who've been on this show over the past year who wanted to be a part of it, and I guess you'll be a part of it as well with Adventure Lamp.
Yeah, gladly.
I'm coming down to the wire to kick in a prize. It's awesome.
Sliding right into it.
But yeah, it's on Steam. You're hoping to bring it to Wii U. Are you going to bring it to any other platforms? Xbox, PlayStation, Vita, 3DS, anything like that?
Well, Xbox just became a possibility. So potentially. Now, like I said, it's the field of Legos, right? Like,
yes.
It could be very easy, or it could be like, hey, you can do this now. And so I start doing it, and it turns into like half a year of horror. I don't know.
How is it that Microsoft just became a possibility? Did you get approved for the ID at Xbox program, or is it like...
It just was introduced into Construct 2's possibilities, an update. I think the big feature was that Windows, I don't know if anyone who's listening is familiar with this. Someone's probably familiar with it. Anyway, Windows is making a shift in the way that they handle their hardware-software stuff. So there was some news articles about you could technically run any Xbox games on any PC or any PC games on any Xbox or something like that.
The Universal Windows platform or something like that?
Yeah, that's it. They're Universal Windows apps. Or at least I can port it to that, apparently. The magic button.
Yeah.
Who knows?
The port button.
But the idea is I should be able to package it in a universal app, which then should run on the Xbox, which means I should be able to be an Xbox developer. There are lots of questions to be answered before that, so I can't be sure about that, but I'd like to look into it. It does come down to time and money and ability to complete so many tasks with only one set of hands and one set of eyeballs. But
yeah,
I'd like to. We use first, but if it's available after that, definitely the more the merrier. Dev kits and stuff are always a hurdle. You know, it's a physical thing you have to buy, and it's a real gamble whether or not, like, if you buy this fairly heavily priced item, and then your game doesn't recoup the costs, then it's a big sink in the budget. But if all the lights are green, then absolutely, the more places I can get it, the better.
Yeah, I clearly have to ask about Xbox because longtime listeners of our show know that we are a heavily Xbox favoring show.
That's an important feature on the list. Well, the short answer is I sure darn hope so.
Nice.
Yeah, I would love that.
I sure hope so as well, because if it does come to Xbox, we can get you back on the show to talk about that version too.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, if it helps, the best controller to use with the game is an Xbox controller. So
which I've been doing.
You're halfway there, right?
Yes, living on a prayer.
It is it is a Microsoft-shaped box that you're running it on with a Microsoft controller in hand.
Yep.
Just, pretend you're on your couch. Or maybe you can be on your couch, depending on your setup.
Yeah, the only problem is that my computer is, like, held together with duct tape and twigs at this point.
Oh, no.
I know your game isn't, like, the most graphically intensive game, but there were still points where it was, like, chugging on my system.
Have you played it within the last day or two?
Not today, no. Okay,
there was an update that I made either yesterday or this morning. It's all blurring together, but I found that I had 800 megabytes sitting in memory, which was crazy.
Oh, nice.
Basically it loaded all of the music right at the beginning, and it just kept it there. And, I'm not I do high-level development. Like, I'm not pushing around little packets of data and writing zeros and ones. The big secret is I don't even know any official programming languages. I have used GameMaker and now Construct 2 because I like to make things. I can make things that move well and play well, and the back end is usually like hieroglyphics, and I can make my way through it. Like I'm doing right now. I'm trying to solve a bug. If anyone gets the game, just know at the moment, who knows if by the time you hear this it's going on, there's an issue with some people. If they hit play, it doesn't load. You can play it by running the exe. I'm fixing it stuff right now, but it like I said, it's like hieroglyphics. It's tough to figure out what's going on because well, I'm focused on making games, not making architectures.
It's like a musician who knows how to play songs but can't read sheet music.
Yeah.
Like, they know how to do it, they just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. In bigger teams, there are teams of people that do one thing or another thing. Like, you wouldn't get the game designers or the level designers to figure out why the launcher isn't working. You would get the code monkeys. But I'm wearing all of the hats, and so sometimes I'm lagging behind on one of them. Like, this is the first time I've launched on Steam, so I have some Steam-related things I'm not very familiar with, and I'm learning right now. So, I'm sprinting at the moment, and actually, as soon as I finish this, I'm going right back to it. But where am I going? Wow, train of thought just went shoo, right out the window.
Welcome to my show.
I'm sure people who are listening are like, you were talking about this. I do that all the time when I'm listening to podcasts. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
But I guess where I'm going with that is... I
think you were talking about the bug about hitting play, that not playing.
Yeah, and I had a point to all of that. But when I'm making these things, there's sometimes that kind of stuff that creeps in, and you just got to roll with it. And I'm currently rolling with it. Yeah, and so that's my current Lego. It's lodged in my foot. How did it get there? And in the meantime, I'm acquiring negative reviews over it, which it's expected. Like, some people, they don't support their game very well, especially the bigger ones. Like, you put in a support ticket and nothing ever happens. I get that, and I don't want that to be people's experience. So just listeners know, if you want to get it, that is currently something I'm working on, and my goal is to be a very responsive developer. I want people to get the experience they paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hey, that's
honestly,
understandable.
I'd rather them get a refund than stick around and feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's not my goal at all. Like, I want to bring joy to the world, not bug reports.
Yeah. The only real bug I ran into was after I played it and exited out of it, the game kept running in the background.
Yeah, that is the other Lego. It's in the other foot.
Ah, gotcha.
So actually, the two big problems right now are starting it and ending it. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
I'm working on a solution, and it will be fixed. Whether it's a hack solution or whatever, I am resolving this so that I can see people's fear. Like, I bought this game and it won't run, or I bought this game and it won't stop. I get that, and honestly, I wouldn't have launched it knowing those bugs were there if I knew they were there. But that's currently all I'm doing. Some people, I think it's just a Windows 7 problem that's not launching. You can open it by going into the system files and just running the exe, which helps a lot, but not everyone's willing to do that.
Yeah, that requires work. I'm not supposed to work.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, if I went to a restaurant and I was like, I'm gonna get food because tonight I'm not making food, and they're like, hey, could you help flip some of this on the stove? I'd be like, what's going on here? Like, where's the waiter? I want my drink.
Now, if anything, I think just having to start your own game, like manually going in and clicking an exe, like going to a buffet where you got to just get your own fucking food.
Yeah, but that's like, there are websites for that. They're a little less, they're more like developer websites, like Desura. I've never gotten anything from there, but that's my sense from it. Or itch.io, which honestly is great. Anyone who's interested in little games should go there. It's fun. But man, that's like, download it and then unzip it and find the file that runs it, and then you can play the game.
That works.
Yeah, but those are the buffets of the game world. Like, do it yourself. And honestly, they when I put my game on itch, like no complaints at all. Like people were very comfortable with really the related issues. But Steam is a different place. Like people are there to play a game, and I get it. Like when I was there have been days when I've sat down to play say a local multiplayer game with somebody. Not local, a LAN. Yeah, we've got our different computers, and we're just trying to hook up. And then we spend the whole day trying to like log into Steam for whatever reason, or match up the right version of the game, or find each other's IP. And by the end, you're just done. Like I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
So I don't want to create those experiences. I really want it to just work, and that's what I'm working on right now.
I guess for me, that's why I've always been a console guy, because I know 99% of the time I'll get a game and it'll just work, unless it's like a Ubisoft.
Yeah, and the problem of it works on my machine is totally not a problem when you've got an Xbox in front of you, because it is your machine. It's the same machine, and that is a great part about console. I like PC for all the reasons that it's terrible in some ways.
Yeah.
You can do so much.
Because if the game works on your system flawlessly, there's 100 people that's going to have 100 different problems.
The one of those Legos, the starting problem. Actually, no, both of them. Different people have these problems: the start problem and the end problem.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to be related, which is good. But it looks like the starter problems, they're all reporting being on Windows 7. So that's my lead. I'm going that direction. But it worked on my computer, and it worked on every computer I tested it on.
Weird.
So, what more can I do before I launch? I'm not really sure. But that is the thing. Like, if someone had my exact specs on their computer, they're guaranteed to have a playable experience. But that's just not the case. It's because it's not console.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if it helps, the whole closing thing, not closing out, I'm on Windows 10. If that helps.
Yeah, that one seems less related. It's sort of random. Like it happens on a good percentage of people's computers, but not mine.
Yeah.
And not my wife's computer. So all the ones I have access to.
I just didn't understand it, because I closed out of it and then went to play it again. It's like, it's already running. I'm like, weird? Motherfucker, I closed you. You are not running.
I know. And it's not, I know this sounds excuse-ish, but it's not my fault. It's actually, there's a whole forum full of people saying, my game on Steam won't close. It has to do, so it's WebTech, Construct 2 exports to HTML5, and then it's wrapped in this program called Node WebKit. And Node WebKit regularly updates. It's basically like if you took Chrome and you stripped out all of the stuff that makes it like a fully functional browser, and you added in like hardware acceleration so it can run a little faster. It's basically just a browser, and you've stuck your game inside of it. That's how it works, which is great. But every time they update, something breaks. And
the beauty of software, fix one thing and break 12 others.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. And so the current solutions are a little hackish. But that's what I'm going to have to do, because I can't let 200, 300 megabytes of CPU stuff continue to sit on your computer. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And Steam says it's still running, right? It's crazy. So that's hopefully the next day or two. Hopefully, listeners, by the time you hear this, it's taken care of. But that's part of the roller coaster of launching. It's just sort of guaranteed that you're gonna find the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and if it's not fixed by the time you hear this episode, it's probably because he took an hour and a half to do this show. So send all your complaints to the SML podcast at gmail.com, and I will ignore all of them. So yeah, the game's out now. It's what, $11.99?
Yeah, it is.
And how long is the game? Because I know there's a speed run achievement.
Mm-hmm. So, that might be another Lego, though I don't know how great it is to say it on the podcast. I'm not sure if the price is accurate. If you're really not willing to pay that price, you can get it on itch.io. You can find it for, I think, $8 is what I'm realizing it's probably more worth. But, not to undersell myself, but I want to be fair, right? I think I just was so in love with it. Oh, well. And Steam only changed the price for a couple months, so that's probably coming. But anyway, right now it's $11.99 on Steam. It's depending on how fast you play platformers, it's 3 to 4 hours. If you're really fast, an hour and a half or two is I've seen for the main story. But there are secret stories that I don't want to give it away. But there's more to the game than the initial story, and that totals it at about another hour to 2 hours. So probably a total of 5 hours.
Which isn't bad for $12.
No.
I know some people might look at the achievements and see a speed run for beating the game in, what is it, a half hour?
Yeah, it is.
They might freak out about it, but that's when you've learned the game and you can speed run.
Yeah, I didn't put that in there expecting people to read that as, man, this is a short game. Games Done Quick has some crazy times. What I saw Pokemon this time it was Pokemon Green, and it was in under 4 minutes.
How about Mario 3 in 2 seconds?
Holy crap.
Yeah, they found some kind of glitch where the Passbot would just mash buttons until it tricked the game into glitching, and from the title screen, it went right to the ending.
That's incredible. You don't get faster than that.
Yeah.
That's like the best. There's no better.
So your game is longer than 2 seconds.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it is. I would say total about 5 hours.
Pretty good. Are you planning on expanding it at all in the future? Any kind of DLC or bonus modes or anything?
I can't guarantee anything, especially if sales determine a lot, right? No one wants to work for free, but if I can, not just no one can work for free. If I can, I really want to make a level editor. I think that'd
be cool.
I know. Yeah, right. I think there's a lot of room in there for that. Even if it's just because the bulk of this year of development was making the levels for the game, and it may be that I'm slow, but and I know I make good levels. I don't want to sound bloated, but I really know. I did a lot of cutting. There's no fluff in there. I made sure to map out, is this a new concept? Is it twisting it in any way? And so that just took time. And I realized that if there are people who want to make levels, there's a good opportunity for more mechanics to be explored and for a lot more content to be available, because it's really true at the end. A lot of people want more, and I would love to give them more, and I can, but it might be another year, and I don't want to do that to not just to myself, but to the people who would want to play. So yeah, I'm hopefully looking at a level editor.
The best part about a level editor is that you get to make the idiot customers do your job for you, and it's a feature. Those stupid assholes.
I don't see it that way.
I mean, it's all about creation. Look at Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
That is literally a game that is a level editor. That's all it really is. There's some pre-built stuff in there, but the main majority of that game is playing what other people can create. And no matter how good you are at designing levels for your own game, someone out there is going to make shit that you'll never be able to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's great.
Because there are some demented people out there. Sadistic.
And there's clearly the first thing anyone wants to do is make cruel levels, and that's a lot of fun. Maybe there's room for like a tag to put on the levels that says sadistic.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to Super Meat Boy, what is this?
Oh God. And the sad thing is, like compared to some games out there, Super Meat Boy's not even that hard anymore.
No, yeah, it's true. That there's been an upsurge in that, isn't there?
Then the other thing you have to look forward to with a level editor is how long it's going to take someone to make a dick.
Good point.
All about that TTP, time to penis.
It's guaranteed, isn't it? Honestly, if anyone cares enough to make that, then good. Sure.
Online interactions not rated by the ESRB.
Exactly.
Well, I know we're creeping up on around an hour of the interview here. I'm not sure if there's anything else that you wanted to talk about.
Like I said, I can babble for an eternity, but I understand value goes down with quantity sometimes.
Hey,
I just want to say about the game that I love it, and I think other people will too. It's about seeing things differently, and I don't think there's another platformer out there that's like it. Even if it's worth watching a Let's Play, there are a couple out there already. More than a couple. There are a few. There's a great one by One Shot Girl, Julie. There was a live stream I was a part of. She played through the whole thing one sitting. And even if you just go and watch it, I think it's worth seeing because it's my baby and I can say that, right?
Nice. Hey, you got to be confident in your own game, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm confident that if the gods of fate allowed it, this really could be something that would be notable. Maybe in a few years I'll go, man, what an idiot. But right now, that is how I feel. I'm in love with this, and I think other people can be too. I've seen it. Other people really love it.
Yeah, I really, really dig the game. I know it took me a couple of minutes to get used to the controls and the jumping mechanic.
Yeah, that's certainly different.
It took a while for me to realize that there's jumping and then there's holding the jump. So,
yeah. Who knows? Maybe I was a little too experimental. But once you get the hang of it, it's really interesting because
it's fun and it looks good. So I hope that the game goes well for you. When it's getting near Wii U release, hit us up and we'll try getting you on again, and
okay,
I'll bug you again down the line about coming to Xbox.
Yeah, stay on that. I need voices that say this is worth your time.
Bring it to Xbox. Ask Adam Rippon of the guy who made the Dragon Fantasy games. I will bug the shit out of you until it comes to Xbox. I've been on his ass for 2 years now.
That's cool. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Coming.
Well, I'll definitely be sending you a code. Hopefully, whoever has won it by now, I hope you enjoy it. I certainly do.
Yeah, I dig it too. I really we're gonna have a more in-depth review on our next episode, which is actually the episode we'll be announcing the winner on. It's all kind of fucked up time travel on this.
Well, I'll be definitely listening in. This is it's nice to be on it. I don't know what it's like to listen to it yet, but
it's kind of shitty.
Will be a listener.
I don't like the host.
Oh man, I'm gonna send hate mail.
The host is irritating.
But I'll be listening. It's a good time.
But yeah, it's been a blast talking with you. Do you want any final words to end this segment and send people on their way?
Just thanks for having me on. It means a lot. The internet can be a really either quiet and or cruel place, and it's good to find islands of people, like humanity. So I appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you.
We live in a very sunny area of the world. I guess it's roughly comparable to Florida? I don't know. I'm guessing there. It's fairly warm and it's fairly humid, and it's near the beach.
There's less alligators.
Less alligator. Oh, we don't quite have crocodiles here. We only have sharks.
Doesn't like everything there, isn't like every animal there capable of killing people?
Oh, no, we've got cute ones. Like, we've got the kangaroos. We get kangaroos out in the front lawn every so often. And they won't, actually, they can kill you. I was about to say, no, kangaroos never hurt anyone. Oh, wait a second. No, yeah, they do. Yeah, but only if you bother them.
Yeah, but you guys have like bears and cougars.
Bears and cougars and mountain lions and stuff.
Yeah, but the things that could kill us are fairly large and noticeable, where you guys have like 4 million spiders that can kill you.
No, spiders are fine. It's snakes you gotta watch.
Snakes, yeah. The second deadliest snake in the world. This is the world's second deadliest snake. It's called the brown snake. They're brown, and they're everywhere here. There'd be probably hundreds of them within a few kilometers of our house. They're all through the forest.
There's mostly one on the floor behind me. It's right. Hey, well, you doing, Willie?
Oh yeah, they come into people's houses occasionally.
And every other snake looks just like them, so you can't really tell.
You can't tell. Like, we had a snake in our house, and it was brown, and we're freaking out, and I had to walk past it to get to the phone to call the snake man. And I was wondering if this was the last thing I was going to do, was heroically skip past this snake. And I got through it, and we got this thing. And then the snake man turned up and just mocked us for an hour because it was a harmless tree snake.
Yeah.
Which looks almost identical to the world's second deadliest snake. But we should have known, apparently.
Man, I guess it's better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, the mockery didn't kill me. I died a little inside, but I survived that.
Oh, my Lord. I should have waited for that to be on the show.
Edit away.
Oh, man, that takes work.
Oh, yeah. Well, hit the play button. We'll just start the show then. Start it.
All right. Well, I'll
use our best material. We'll be boring for the next hour.
I'll leave all that stuff in, I guess. Welcome back to the show. I am joined at this time by Jason Stark, and who is the lovely lady next to you?
I'm Nicole Stark.
Nicole Stark. You're harder to hear than him. He's louder than you.
Oh, sorry, yes. He's loud.
There we go. Get close to the microphone. Our high-tech microphone.
Laptop microphone?
It's a webcam thing. Logitech.
So Jason and Nicole Stark of Disparity Games, how are you two doing today?
We're good.
We're good?
Yeah.
We're good, yeah, we're good.
We have gone to the pre-launch crazy place.
Yes, in pre-launch, you don't really experience emotions like normal people anymore.
Yeah, I can't feel my face anymore.
Yeah. That's right. If people really enjoy drugs, but they can't afford them, just try launching a game.
Oh.
And it provides for a similarly mind-altering experience.
It's best if you work on the game for like 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Before you launch it.
It's not a fast process.
No.
Well, you're the first people that we've talked to that have actually advocated releasing a game. Normally the people we talk to are like, don't ever do this. This is the dumbest thing I've done in my life. I'm going to die 10 years earlier because of this.
We're all about doing dumb things.
Yeah, you got to do the dumb things. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't know. You don't know they're dumb. Maybe they're not dumb. Maybe all those other people that said it was a stupid thing to do was wrong.
We learn by doing.
Yeah, learn by doing. Indeed. Release a game, kids.
So, speaking of the game releasing, you are the folks behind Ninja Pizza Girl, which came out last year on Steam. Mm-hmm. And then is coming out this week for PS4 and Xbox One, correct?
Yep.
That is correct.
For the people who don't know what Ninja Pizza Girl is, and with a title like that, it could be very confusing. It's not very descriptive. tell us about the game.
It is extremely descriptive. There are ninjas.
They deliver
pizza, and the protagonist is a girl. That's all the information. Done. We've described the game. The title speaks for itself.
So for those who haven't seen the game, don't know what it is, give us the sales pitch about the game.
Okay, can you do it, Dick? Can you? You have a go, then I'll have a go. Because we're terrible at this by now, because we've been doing this for 3.5 years.
So you gave all the good answers already?
Yeah, all the answers, they're gone, and now it's just a jumbled mush of 3.5 years of memory. So there's always a critical test. Because all interviews start like this. Tell the people about your game. It's like, we can't. We can't. Okay, give it a go, honey, and I'll go. I'll go after your turn.
Okay. I don't know.
Nothing? Do you want me then? I'll do the oldest pitch.
There's parkour involved.
Okay.
It's a platformer.
I'll try. Okay. In the not too distant future, traffic has gotten so bad that the only way to deliver a pizza across town in 30 minutes or less is via underpaid teenage ninjas. Nice. So that's how pizza gets delivered, is ninjas, because you can't drive. You can't drive. So you get this whole subsection of community that have never seen the ground. They're living in these towering skyscrapers, and some of them are actually like slums that they've built planks between. So it's like this weird slum skyscraper city in the sky, and you've got these teenage kids, and they're ninjas, and they're chronically underpaid because all pizza delivery people are underpaid.
It's actually very loosely based on our eldest daughter's experiences as a pizza delivery girl.
That's true.
Not so much a ninja, but she was learning Kung Fu at the time. So
yeah, she was doing Kung Fu, and she worked as a pizza delivery person, and that's where the game idea came from, because she was our ninja pizza girl.
And she would leap 40 meters from building to building?
Not really.
She wouldn't, but our youngest, who is like parkour embodied, she's like the spirit of parkour. She definitely would.
Yeah, she doesn't walk in straight lines. We have a lot of children, by the way. These stories get very confusing at times because people don't realize how many children. We have 4 daughters, and their ages go from
23 to 7. It's hard for me to keep track because it changes every year. The important one, the eldest one, who was the pizza delivery girl, and then there's the second eldest one, who's 19 now. She's actually works for us 2 days a week and did all the 2D art in the game.
Yes. So it was a husband and wife and daughter team that made the game.
So 3 people. That's the entirety of the people behind the game?
We had some people help.
We've had some really wonderful people who have helped us out from time to time.
For a few weeks here and there. And we owe so much to a lot of people who have helped out in little ways.
We've been helped by so many people.
But generally the team is just 3 of us.
I did like in the credits in the game where it says this was basically made by a family in our kitchen.
Yep. Yeah. That's what you're seeing now.
I was going to say, is that the kitchen behind you right now that I could see on Skype?
That's the kitchen. This is our office. It's our office.
Legendary kitchen.
Food is nearby and plentiful.
Yeah, cups of tea on.
Cups of tea. We are fueled by cups of tea.
I am fueled by soda near 24/7. Drinking a vanilla Coke as I do this show.
Oh, nice.
Surrounded by cats. Cats and Coke, so... That's really, really close to hookers and below, but it's completely different kind of Coke.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. So 3.5 years you guys are working on the game.
Yeah, it's funny. Our daughter she kind of grew up while we made a game about her growing up.
Yeah, it's very funny because we're saying our second daughter, she did the 2D art, and when we started, that was a big deal because she was only 16. She was 15. She was 15. She was 15 years old when we started. So we're saying, hey, a 15-year-old is doing the 2D art, and we sort of got so used to talking about, hey, this young kid's making a video game and now she's 19. It's just like, oh, of course she is. She's an adult. Yeah, it's a joke.
Are your other two daughters jealous that they're not, they don't have a game of their own?
Oh, no, they we've got a whole stack of games queued up.
Yeah, that's true. And they have appeared in a lot of press
and
as well.
They've helped out a lot too.
So they like Googling themselves and having like little battles of who gets the most appearances, search results.
Nice. That's how to start family fights when you're young. I have more Google searches than you.
Yeah, very much, yeah. Image search. Sorry, that's me rustling on my chair. I found a more comfortable position. All is well. Continue.
I think my cats are finding more comfortable positions as well. They are just continually climbing everywhere, switching out. I've had 5 different cats near me through the half hour we've been chatting so far.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is fun. So yeah, 3.5 years. Since it released last year, that's what, like 3 years of development time?
I don't know. I just remember I was so young when we started.
It was about 3 years, and then
I had a full head of hair. It was great. And I was at least half a foot taller.
I remember having hair. Those were good days.
Yeah, I know. I have to seriously worry about being sunburned all the time and going outside.
Oh, man, I can only imagine. The sun and spiders and snakes. So it's the 3 S's are after you all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sun will kill you here.
Yeah.
The sun will kill you good. But, it's a lovely place. You should come to carefully. You should visit carefully.
Now, I would love to visit down there someday. I have so many friends who live in Australia and New Zealand who are like, you should come down here. It's like a whole new world. It's amazing down here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like snakes.
They don't have them in New Zealand.
Yeah, there's no snakes in New Zealand. So you can go there. But you can come, it'd be fine. Hardly anyone dies of snake bite.
Hardly anyone.
Anyone.
That's reassuring. Very reassuring.
Yeah. Hardly anyone. It's fine.
So is Ninja Pizza Girl the first game that you guys did, or have you had a history of pizza-related games?
We're going to talk about our previous title.
Not pizza related. We've worked in the games industry for a very long time. We're terribly old. We are,
yeah. Before we made our own studio, we'd been working in the games industry for 15 years?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Thereabouts.
What kind of cool stuff have you worked on?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing cool.
Nothing cool. That's one of the reasons why we made our own studio.
I worked on a Barbie game once.
That was probably the coolest. I worked on a series, Tiger Tasmanian Tiger. I made Viva Pinata, but not the Viva Pinata everyone knows. We made the party game of Viva Pinata. And that's pretty much the story of games development in Australia. You tend, or at least it used to be, you tended to get the B titles. So, we need someone to make this quickly and cheaply. Give it to the Australians.
Give it to the people upside down. Half the world.
Those cheery upside down people. And that's sort of why it all collapsed, because our dollar went up and we were no longer cheery upside down people. We were expensive upside down people. And so it was fun doing it, but, there's not much joy in having a 15 years of experience in the games industry, and there's not a single title on your resume that anyone would recognize.
Well, I recognize the Ty the Tasmanian.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I recognize that series. They just didn't they re-release the first game on Steam recently?
They did. They just re-released it on Steam. That is the Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 1. I animated the main character.
Nice. Do you know, I'm sure you don't know, but do you know if they have plans to bring that to console? Because I saw it come out and I'm like, I used to love those games.
I don't know if they're doing console. I don't
know. It was a custom engine, so it's not...
No, I don't think so.
I'd buy the hell out of that if that came to consoles.
Yeah, no, sorry. No, I don't think it's coming. They are looking at releasing Tai 2 on Steam, I think. They're looking at ways of doing it.
Man, we got to get the whole series on.
But I mean, nothing's certain because, that's how the industry is. But yeah, they're still where they were in Brisbane, just down the road. They
Nice.
live down the road, he says. Okay, by Australian measurements, that's about 120 mile away.
Wow, so it's like a 2-hour drive, 3-hour drive?
Yeah.
That's just down the road. It's like
We do that
2 blocks away.
We do that drive a lot.
Man, and Viva Pinata Party Animals. I used to play that one too. So
Oh my goodness!
believe
Why
it or
did I
not,
ever leave? We were making great things.
my wife loved the original Viva Pinata games, and then we picked up the party one to play together, and it's been
right.
years, but I enjoyed it. It was good stuff.
I was art director on that one.
Nice. And now you've made your own game.
And now I made that.
Your own that you can call yours and be proud of, and that's just all your own.
Well, it's ours.
Yes.
It's ours.
So you're not going to demand all the glory here?
No, not all the glory.
I know where he sleeps.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, even Nicole and I and Raven, you can't say it's just ours because of all the people who helped out. You just go, it's funny how much of a team effort even the smallest game title is. You don't ever truly do it yourself. Like, even if you do sit down and make a game in your spare time, there will be the people who helped promote it. The person who jumped on Steam and told all their friends and made sure word of your game got out there. It's amazing. No game is really made by one person or a few people. It's all a big team effort.
Especially once we did the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like it was still a family title, but our family was now like
It was really
1,000
big.
people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everyone on that Kickstarter helped make this game. So, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I was actually just looking over the Kickstarter before we started doing the show. What was that, back in 2014?
Yes.
And how well did that go? I don't see, let me see here.
Oh, that was so fun and so easy. It was just dreamy that month. We pretty much slept the entire time, I think. That's kind of...
Yeah, everyone we talk to says that Kickstarters are just nice and relaxing and stress-free.
That is true, yeah. If you are doing it hard at your work and you just like a break from your job, just like to chill.
Easy
just
money, right?
Do a Kickstarter. It's a breeze.
I see the Kickstarter mentions a Wii U version. Is that still coming?
It certainly
is.
Nice.
We have just sent off our Wii U builds to Nintendo.
Nice. Good to hear. I know a lot of people don't give the Wii U much love anymore, but I still love mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Wii U fans are the biggest fans. The absolute biggest fans. They're always asking us, when's the Wii U version coming out? When's the Wii U version coming out? They've been asking us for a good year or so. So those guys are very patient and very persistent. It's been awesome to say, hey, the Wii U version's coming out. And whenever we mention the Wii U, we generate tremendous excitement on the internet.
And Nintendo have just been really lovely.
They have been really lovely, which was, surprising because they're Nintendo.
And we're just here now.
Yeah, we're in the kitchen. But they've been really wonderful. And they're really quick to help us out. Yeah, it's been awesome. We're releasing on a Nintendo console, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the interviews we did. Was a guy who released a game on the Wii U eShop, and he had no plans to release it anywhere else because he just wanted to have that feeling of saying, I released a game on a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
Like, I have a Nintendo game out.
Yeah. Here, I'll just quickly grab a controller. Unfortunately, all the people listening won't be able to see this, but you'll get the full video experience. This is my favorite way of playing Ninja Pizza Girl.
Nice.
Because I realized I couldn't figure out why. You play it on the side like that. You put your
I'm not even going to mention what the controller is. People could just use their imaginations. It is a Wii remote. Well, I'll say it. Okay.
My description will give it away. And I realized it was because it took me back to playing Super Mario Brothers on the original NES.
Man, those were good days. Are you?
Yeah, because I mean that's almost exactly the same controller, and so it's quite awesome to be releasing a game, our game, onto a Nintendo device and playing it. It's just that real connection to.
Did you see the NES Classic Mini that they're releasing?
I did.
So adorable.
It is.
And how the new NES controllers can plug into a Wii remote and be used for... Is that going to be compatible with Ninja Pizza Girl?
I have no idea.
Because I think it just acts as a classic controller, doesn't it?
If it acts as a classic controller, then yeah. Absolutely.
And then you can get the authentic feel of playing Ninja Pizza Girl with an NES controller.
If it works as a classic, then absolutely, because we made sure it works with the Classic, the Pro, the Wiimote, and the gamepad.
Nice. Those jagged corners poking into your hands once more.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, well, I wanted to... Like, whenever we do a port to a console, I like to go to the forums and check out what annoys fans of those consoles and what features they sort of see as expected and just make life a bit nicer and make sure that we implement those.
So, like, what features did you implement in Ninja Pizza Girl that you heard people say that either they really wanted or stuff they didn't want?
The big thing is particularly for the Nintendo Wii, is just ease of using whatever controller you want and swapping between them. So we supported all the controllers we could, and we make sure if a controller dies, like if it runs out of batteries, that does a nice pause message, and you can grab any other controller that's working and just hit a button and continue playing like nothing happened. And we made sure that it's impossible to lose save data. Like if you're playing the game and you just quit at any point, game saves, it's fine. You don't have to panic. Your progress is all there. So just little life things like that, because people always complain, my save data is gone, or I lost all this data after all this time. And we just want to make sure that was as robust and protected as possible. It does internal backups and all these things to make sure your data is fine. You're not going to be throwing any controllers across the room. Flat batteries aren't going to bother you. It's all good. Not incredibly technologically amazing things, but just little quality of life things.
Are there any features that you planned for the game, but feedback was like, "Oh, we don't like that in our games," and you ended up removing it?
It was about 1 million of them during the course of making it. Because I can't.
Mostly it's stuff you have to put in, though.
Mostly it's stuff that's missing. This is missing. Put this in. Just tons of little things. Mainly explaining concepts, because we've got a few unique mechanics in the game. Like how the health works is weird because it's not health. It's more the player's mood.
I saw that you can buy items to improve the mood, but I didn't really... Like, is there a gauge or anything that shows the mood in the game?
No, there isn't. It's purely the screen effects and the color and whatnot. So as she gets more depressed, you'll see everything goes to black and white and everything gets darker and grainier and blacker and more sort of closed in.
We wanted to emulate self-care skills in real life.
Weird.
And you don't have a gauge in real life. You just have to kind of...
Yeah, we want to try and create as emotive connection as possible. So gauges are great because they're really clear and they convey information perfectly. But
and that's the first place we went to, because, we're game devs. We want to show something. The first thing we did was make a gauge.
Make a gauge!
And we spent about a week making different gauges because, it just
only
wasn't
a week? It was a long week.
It was. We made so many gauges. And we had, fights because Jason made really square minimalist gauges, and I made really girly ones with lots of swirls and stuff.
They were really nice swirly gauges.
So we had all these fights like, it's because your gauge is too girly.
Square and utilitarian shall win.
And eventually we realized that the whole gauge concept wasn't working.
So yeah. Oh, and the music changes, of course, in game to represent it. We do all these little things because if you can represent a concept without a gauge, it should provide a more emotional connection to what's going on in the game. And that's what we're really... Well, actually, there's two things we're about. There's making a fun game that's good to play, and then creating that emotional experience to really put people in there. The game should be moving. It should mess you up. It doesn't mess you up with that.
I gotta say, I really have had a lot of fun with the game. I know I played it a little bit back in, I think, October when we were first talking, and I was hoping to get you on the show back then, but I think, something came up with Microsoft that you had to...
Yeah, I was looking, when you Skyped me, I'll just go back to that. What's the text thing? I was looking in the history, and like the last time we talked was like a year ago or something. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it was like October or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was coming out finally on Xbox and PS4. And I'm like, now's the time. This has got to happen. Yeah, got to get you on.
It was amazing. I mean, it's astounding that you're still doing podcasts. It's so cheering. Because we've taken so long to make the game. A lot of the people that we got to know and form relationships with have like moved on or working for different places, or that site no longer exists. And you just,
Yeah, this show itself has been on 3 different websites so far.
But it's still going. That's amazing. I'm
still going. Yeah, the first site I was on, they even wanted to try and keep the show. I'm like, no, you dick. I made this show. This is my show.
All right, so then when you get reviewed, but keep the show.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're like, oh, yeah, well, that's our property. It's like, no, it's not. That's why this entire time it's been called the SML podcast.
That's kind of cool that they valued the show enough to try to screw you out of it.
I don't think they valued the show. They just didn't value me.
Oh, well, they were fools. They were fools.
Yeah, they were. And that site is gone. The other site that we were on is basically gone. They haven't had news posts in months. So, yeah, third site's been going well. Bleeding Cool has been awesome with us, so we're still going.
Are you the kiss of death, though?
Probably. That's why no one listens to our show.
Don't put this podcast on your website.
I'm lucky. I've been doing this show for 3.5 years, over 200 episodes. We actually, I know I talked with you briefly about we put together a massive prize pack for our 200th episode, and we're going to be picking a winner for our contest later this week.
That's awesome.
So we're excited about that.
That is so cool. I mean, that's a massive achievement, man. That's it's no small thing. I don't know of many podcasts who have had that many episodes. So
I think my wife was joking around that we've had more companies send in codes to our contest, like game codes and physical prizes and all that fun stuff. We've had more companies send us prizes than we have listeners. That's been a running joke.
Listener gets a prize. Just assign a number to every listener and send them something.
Actually, we're doing a winner takes all kind of deal. So whoever wins our contest is getting like over $1,000 worth of game codes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got our 51st person earlier this morning sent us codes for a contest, like right under the wire.
That's crazy. That's like, if that person wins, their friends will be like, oh, so what games do you have on Steam? And they'll be like, all of them. I have them all. It's an open library.
I want to say there's like 25 or so for Steam. There's about the same amount on Xbox One. I think we have like 10 on PS4 and then just a handful spread across Vita, 3DS, and Wii U.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a chunk of swag.
Indeed. I'm honored that so many companies and so many people that we've talked to over the years have just been so supportive of our show. And like I said, I first talked to you back in October, and now all these months later, you're on the show, and you've been supportive of our show and allowed us to cover the game twice now, and it's awesome. So I appreciate you guys making time to come on my dumb little show.
No, it's awesome, man. Don't belittle your show.
I have to. That's the running gag.
Is it?
Hell,
it's our only joke.
The contest is changing the name of our show because originally the SML stood for small, medium, large based on the size of the hosts. I was large.
Right.
But because that kind of fell apart quickly, it was someone might listen. for over 3 years, we were someone might listen. And that's been our running gag, is that no one listens to our show, but we still do it.
Someone might.
But now that we have listeners, that's what the contest is changing what the SML stands for.
Right, so you don't know what it will stand for soon.
Nope, I'll find out tomorrow night when we do our normal weekly recording. We're going to pick a winner live during our recording.
That's brave.
Yeah.
It could stand for anything.
I think we have like 45 emails filled with entries so far. So and I have not read any of them, so I'm excited to see how crazy things get and how vulgar things get.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Is there a vulgar? Would you go vulgar?
Probably not. We do have a bunch of extra codes to give out to like a second place entry and some random consolation prizes that we'll give to some funny, vulgar, and stupid ones, because it's always good to have stupid ones, but we still want something that we can have fit our show. Yeah. Like, I think when I tell people about it, their first things are like, suck my what's an L word? Suck my labia. That was my wife. Her first reaction was suck my labia. So, as funny as that is, that won't be the name of our show.
That's a good name for a show.
This is the Suck My Labia podcast, hosted by two men.
Genitalia are grossly underrepresented in slurs and joke names of all kinds. I think that would go a great way to addressing the balance.
Yeah, we had a bunch of good entries the first time around. The runner-up back then was Scandinavian Mastodon Lingerie.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Nick Chester, who at the time worked with Harmonix, liked that entry so much that he started his own contest through our show for people to send in drawings or pictures of Scandinavian Mastodon Lingerie.
Right.
And the winner got like a big swag bag from Harmonix.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. We're lucky that through our entire show, for 3 years of our show, Harmonix has been really, really awesome to us. I guess the grand prize of our contest is the winner for either PS4 or Xbox One gets Rock Band DLC in the amount of $200 to celebrate 200 episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, so
that's a really good studio to be close friends with.
Yeah, they've been awesome, and we love Rock Band, so it works out really well.
Yeah, Rock Band's great.
Everyone I've ever met who works there seems really nice. They just seem like really nice people.
Yeah, Harmonix is a lot older than people think too.
Yeah, they date back to what, the PS2 era, I think.
Yeah. They've been doing sort of like music-based games for a long time before they started getting the big hits. So I really admire any company that's done the hard yards like that. That's really put in the long work. I mean, people always think they're like this overnight success. They just do a title and they're successful. And you go, no, just because that's the first title you've heard of doesn't mean there isn't a long, hard road before that time.
Yeah, for
it'll be like you.
For every SML, Rock Band and Guitar Hero, they have an iToy anti-grav or something. Karaoke Revolution had a series.
Yeah. Crazy.
Good stuff.
Cool. Harmonix. Very nice. Very nice. And now you're friends with us. So pretty much you know all the best people in the world now.
Indeed. It's crazy how many people I've talked to all over you're not even the first Australians we've talked to. So
oh my God.
Yeah, this brings up one of the extras that are in your game under the swag that you could buy. There's like a little game card for Android Assault Cactus.
Yeah, so that's purely an in-game boost. You do not get a copy of Assault Android Cactus. Have you talked to those guys? Witchbeam?
Yes.
Tim and
We talked to Witchbeam quite a while ago, and I'm still sad because my biggest question for them is, will the game come to Xbox One?
Oh.
And no, it is not on Xbox One.
That's a no, which is funny because I keep harassing him too. Like, I talk to Tim quite a bit. I'm all over him doing the Xbox One version because I think he should. So between the two of us, I'm sure we'll convince him.
You should do a Wii U then.
Yeah, Wii U and then Xbox, of course. That's
I'm just sad that the closest I've gotten so far to Assault Android Cactus on Xbox One is in your game, that little extra.
Yeah, that little graphic.
What does that unlock in the game? Does that
it just makes her happy.
Oh, okay.
It's a self-care.
It's a self-care thing. So basically, if you spend the resources on playing a video game for a bit, it does exactly what a real video game does in the real world and cheers you up.
Nice.
When you're just working all the time, it's nice to take some time out and play some Assault Android Cactus. But all the games in it are real games made by people we know.
In Brisbane, I think.
Yeah, they all Brisbane? No, because there's Easies. But yeah, most of them are Brisbane games. Satellite Rain? Mm-hmm. Satellite Rain is in there. Do we have a Satellite Rain thing in our game? No, just that.
Yeah.
Oh, and have you heard of Satellite Rain?
No, I haven't. The only one I recognized was Assault Android Cactus because they were on the show.
No, Satellite Rain, they did a big Kickstarter for it. It was the spiritual successor to Syndicate. Okay.
And they just did an update and added multiplayer.
But anyway, there's actually a little pizza shop in their game from our game.
That's awesome.
So
that is really cool. I love when game companies and friends will just team up and put references to their friends in their game.
Actually, there's a game releasing tomorrow.
Yeah.
The day before ours, Tuesday.
Eyes of Ara, yes.
Yeah, and he's got a pizza box from our...
Yeah, it's a very serious Myst-like point-and-click adventure. But yeah, he's got a pizza box, a Ninja Pizza Girl, a pizzerific pizza box in his game.
That is cool. See, all these games need to come to Xbox so I could play them.
We're coming to Xbox.
Yes, you are, thankfully. You guys are awesome because you're on Xbox.
Well, that's exactly why we did it, is we wanted to be on everything. Because people will go, oh, you've got a game. Oh, I'd like to play it. And if you say, oh, cool, well, it's on Steam. They go, well, I don't play games on Steam. And you go, oh. So we just tried to make them on everything.
Yeah, I've never been much of a Steam gamer. I think Ninja Pizza Girl was one of the few that I really put a lot of time into on Steam.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely pro console gaming.
I do like consoles.
Yeah.
I do like consoles.
It's all about consoles.
I like comfy chairs. And like really comfy chairs. And you really only get comfy chairs if you're playing on console and they're in your living room.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would love to be able to hit a button on my office chair and transform it into, a big sofa. If anyone's kickstarting a transforming office chair sofa, I will so back that.
That is awesome.
That is my dream device. Hit a button, transform into it. But, unfortunately, I'm forced instead to get up off of my chair and walk 6 meters to the living room.
And that is bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It's like, what are we, cavemen? Animals?
We are not animals. We are lazy humans who need to sit.
It's barely worth living in today's world without this thing.
Do you back a lot of Kickstarters?
No, actually, I have to stay away from the board game section because I love board games. And there's a billion awesome-looking board games on Kickstarter. So if I go in there, I don't come out for like 3 days, and all of a sudden I owe people, $100,000.
Oh God!
Kickstarter fees. It's like, I have to be careful. But I've backed a few things. But
I back a lot of indie games. It's very hit and miss.
That's sensible.
But for everyone that doesn't work out, you get one that's just brilliant, and you wouldn't have got it any other ways.
Yeah, I think the key with Kickstarter is just accepting that it's a bet.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine as long as you go into that with that mentality. If you go into it thinking, I'm going to put some money down and I am definitely getting a product at the end of this, well, I mean, we're really happy that we are actually going to do that. We are a little bit later than what we thought, but we are actually, our Kickstarter backers, who are wonderful and extremely patient, are all going to get what they paid for.
That is awesome. Yeah, looking over, I kind of wish I knew about the game when your Kickstarter was going. Seeing rewards for a physical art book and a T-shirt, I would have jumped on that back then.
Oh yeah, the T-shirts are really, the T-shirts are good. The people fight over those T-shirts.
Nice.
They have our logo on the front, and on the back is the words "No pants, no pizza."
I'm gonna have to jump on eBay looking for one of those.
We have one of our Uber fans. Like, this guy is such a massive, massive fan of ours, and he's put well over 100 hours into the game on Steam, and he's just wonderful. He wrote to us saying, I don't know if you have any T-shirts. Go, please have a T-shirt. And we happen to have, one left over?
In that size.
A single T-shirt. And so we sent it to him. And
that's awesome. That is really cool.
So happy. You just go, oh, hell, it's just worth the effort to make someone that happy.
Yeah, I would love to have a shirt that just says "No pants, no pizza." That's such a great line from the game.
That was all based on...
It's a good T-shirt. I get a lot of comments.
Yeah, a lot of comments on that. We have little badges that say "No pants, no pizza" too. They're awesome. That line was almost based on real life.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Yeah. When our daughter was delivering pizzas, she used to... It's really weird. We let our kids have these jobs, but they have to drive in the dark to strangers' houses. And we don't think twice about it, because apparently they are carrying pizza, and that makes you perfectly safe.
Yeah.
But
no one's going to fuck with the pizza guy. They want their pizza to arrive nice and safe.
That's right. It's fine, But there was this guy she used to deliver to who just wouldn't wear pants when answering the door. And it drove her nuts. And, she never did, but she always dreamed of throwing the pizza away and saying, that's it, no pants, no pizza. And so we put that moment into the game for her.
That's incredible. I wonder if that guy is going to play the game and be like,
I don't know why she's
start
so angry
putting pants on.
He's behaving in a perfectly normal manner.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, that's right. We did have the guy who bullied Raven. Come on. Because the game's got the bullying themes and everything, and we'd been talking about that. At one of the talks afterwards, this extraordinarily nervous kid comes up to me and says that he'd actually bullied Raven in high school, and he apologized and was really sorry and looked like he was about to faint with terror, the sweet guy. But yeah, so it is amazing. Sometimes these things do reach the people who influence them.
That's really cool that I guess growing up, you kind of have a new stance on what an asshole you were as a kid.
Pretty much. I think we all do. I think we all look back and go, oh, how embarrassing.
I was such a dick as a kid.
Why did I do those things?
I was such a dick on my last episode.
Yeah, well, there is that too. Sometimes you look back to, yesterday. When you do that?
Earlier in this episode.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We learn, we grow, or sometimes we don't.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
People have bad short-term memories, so we'll probably be fine.
And my cat knocked my phone off my desk. Thank you, kitten. You're awesome, you little asshole. So anyway, you guys have a bunch of different cool unlockables in the game.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of different unlockables in the game.
I like how many different unlockables there are, as well as the game craziness modes that you have in the game.
That is purely Tim's fault. That is Tim from Cactus's fault, because he kept making this game, the cool game Cactus, and he kept putting good stuff in it, and so I kept feeling I had to put more cool stuff in our game. That's why it is. I would have never put those things in there. Screw Tim. He's always making me work far harder than I want to. Like, that would have never been in there.
Tell us about some of the crazy modes that are in the game.
Crazy modes.
Big head mode.
Big head mode. Anyone who knows classic games knows about big head mode.
Damn right.
My favorite instance of big head mode would be in NBA Jam in the arcade.
Indeed.
Does any of your listeners know what I'm talking about? Is anyone old enough?
I think our listeners, we have a good amount that remember what arcades are. Thankfully.
I remember them. Yeah,
Back in my day, we would put quarters into a machine and play
into a machine. The machines that were just everywhere. Just in a corner store would have a video game in it. It's pretty cool.
We had something called change machines where you would put money into a machine and just get money to put in a different machine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they still have arcades in Japan.
And only Japan.
And only Japan. And yeah, that's right. In only Japan, but they're still quite. They're a thing. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, big head mode. So big head mode's there. It's a classic. We've got double jumps because everyone kept asking if she could have a double jump. First person mode.
Which is insane, by the way. I don't know what drugs you were on when you came up with the idea to have a first person mode in this game.
Our youngest daughter asked for it.
She wants a VR.
She wants an Oculus Rift mode.
Oh my god!
Because we go to a lot of indie meetups and everything, and so she once spent. You know how it's pretty hard to do VR for more than like 15 minutes without getting sick? She did about 4 solid hours in an Oculus Rift playing a game with the Kinect, where you have to tilt your whole body to control like an aircraft thing.
That's insane.
She just did that for 4 hours, and then afterwards she wanted me to. She didn't know it was called an Oculus or VR or anything. She just goes, "Hey, could you do the helmet thing in Ninja Pizza Girl, Dad?"
The helmet thing.
It was like, no.
She was pretty young when we first started making the game, so she never really got that into it. But we got her to test some of the Wii U stuff.
The Wii U stuff, yeah.
And now she's 7.
She's really into it now. Yeah, she's really good.
She played it for a while, and she goes, it's a good game. You did well, parents. You did well.
She did. That was just like her evaluation. This is good. Sounding surprised.
You did well, parents.
Yep. Those were her words.
That's fantastic.
Sounds sincere.
See, how did you make first-person mode work in a 2D platformer?
Badly. Badly is the answer to that. I had like 2 days to do all the game craziness modes. So I didn't know how to do first-person mode, so I tried. The first thing I tried kind of sort of worked, so I went, fine, done. Anyone who played, I played through a level just to make sure it was vaguely possible to play through, and you can deliver a pizza in first-person mode, although I would recommend against trying to deliver two.
I think vaguely possible is a good description for that mode.
You pretty much have to memorize the level because you can't see much.
When my co-host came over to visit, I played through, and like the first things I unlocked was big head mode because it's big head mode. And he played, and he was like, first person mode? How the hell does first person mode work in this game? I'm like, I've honestly never tried it yet. You should try getting some QR codes and unlock that thing. And he unlocked it, and he tried it. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Why would you do this to us?
Did he get the achievement?
Yes.
Yes!
When we saw the achievement pop up at the end of that run, we lost our minds. We thought that was the funniest achievement we may have ever seen in a game. What's the name of it? Like, this shouldn't be possible?
Well, we seriously didn't think anyone would do this.
That's incredible. I love when people think outside the box with achievements like that.
Yeah, we try to do that because, when you're playing a game and you're just joking around with friends and you always say, hey, and you make a joke. They said they should totally have done this, but no one ever does it. We tried to do some of those things.
Nice.
Even if it was just in bonus modes and whatnot. I'd like to do more bonus modes. Oh, yeah. Did you come up with motivational mode? Have you played motivational mode?
I unlocked it and I tried doing. I didn't see what it did.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to play a level with enemies.
Yeah, were there enemies on the level?
No, I ran through the first stage to just kind of see what the modes were.
Play it with enemies.
All
I don't know whether to tell the viewers what it does or to let you discover it.
I'm guessing instead of the enemy saying, like, you suck, they say positive things?
Yeah. And they don't attack you.
Oh, nice. Does that help with speed running and getting the best ratings on levels?
Well, all the times that are saved on online leaderboards automatically deactivate the game craziness. But yeah, getting through the game, getting achievements and whatnot, it absolutely helps. So if you're not that good at the game, you can usually get all the achievements by clever usage of unlocks.
All right. Yeah, I have gotten into this issue where I can't move on to a new stage until I've gotten a WoW rating as well as collected everything on every stage.
That gets very hard.
Yeah, it does, but I'm having fun with it.
Wow.
And I love the collectibles in this game because not only does it encourage trying to run levels more than one way, but because it saves what you collect every time, you don't have to worry about like, oh, did I get that one already? Did I not get that one already? So it seems like a lot of encouragement to go back and replay levels and explore them fully.
Oh my god, that works!
That was the idea.
That was our idea.
We made all that level. We want you to see it.
Yeah, we did that on purpose. Oh my god!
Yay. I'm playing the way the game was intended to be played.
Oh, we get such a thrill out of it when people actually do what you hope they will do.
Man, yeah, I always cry though when I get an A+ rating, but I'm not just that good enough to get the WoW.
Tick, 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 tick. No!
You son of a bitch! If I didn't get pushed over that one time.
Yeah, you can't get pushed over. Like, have you gotten into the habit where you'll start a level, you'll make one mistake, and then just pause, restart?
After my first couple of runs, yes. Like, I'll run through it a few times just to explore everything and get the hang of the level. And then after that, yeah, if I screw up, I'm like, well, looks like I'm starting over.
Our little girls are really bad for that. Like they'll play, like they only play if they don't get a certain rating. They just instantly pause button, bang. Like they'll do it, and they'll get to the point where if the first jump isn't optimal, that's it. Restart. You go, you can just relax and enjoy the game.
You shut your face. You don't tell me what you made the game. You didn't make how I play it.
That's right. We don't make they play.
You'd be like, well, I made you and I made the game, so I can take both away.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you want to have your mind blown, you should check out the Steam forums and the people who hold the speedrun records. They've made videos, and whoa.
I'm going to have to look.
Whoa. I mean, I have played, we've both played, I don't know, thousands of hours of that game. And they are way better at the game than we are.
Yeah, I was actually talking about this in the last interview I did where the guy was talking about putting a level editor into his game. I was like, the joy about a level editor is it doesn't matter how good you are at designing levels or the fact that it's your own game. Someone will make something to embarrass you.
Yeah.
And put you
absolutely.
to shame.
And look, that's fine. I don't think you should feel ashamed because, I mean, we can't be the best. We can't beat the world.
There's always going to be some Korean kid who will master your game in like 2 days.
That's right. That's right. So it's fine. You know, it's like
he's
I said,
like 4.
Making a game is a team effort. And as soon as you release it, like every player is kind of a part of that team. It's weird.
Yeah. So, what kind of future plans do you have for the game? Are you considering doing any DLC for the game? Any extra modes or levels?
Plans? Plans.
We haven't planned past the week 1 patch yet.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a week 1 patch because there is a few things in there that can be tweaked and improved. So that's definitely coming out. But we haven't planned beyond that because we don't know. We're waiting for people to tell us what they want.
Well, what's the Steam reception been like? Because that's been out for quite a while now.
It's been pretty good. We haven't had a huge furor, a huge chorus of people asking for DLC. They are interested in what we do next. They say, do something else next. And they leave it open. We don't have too many people going, I want more Ninja Pizza Girl. So maybe it just feels complete how it is. I think I'd rather...
Which is shocking that people are content with the game. They're like, yeah, this was just a really good game. It was like long enough. There was enough content. Yeah, just do something new. I'm good.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the reception. It's like, this was fun. Now do another one.
I'd like to be Ninja Pizza Guy.
Ninja Pizza Guy. Ninja Pizza Guy would be cool.
So is that what's next, Ninja Pizza Guy, or do you guys have some other games in the works?
We'll leave it open. There's a quote from a sitcom, I can't remember which one, that Raven, our second daughter, the artist, is really fond of saying. She says, you want to make God laugh? Make a plan. So...
we're working on a few things. After working on one thing for like 3.5 years, we didn't want to commit to any one thing.
That's the one thing we're agreed on. We don't want to make a plan to make another game that will take us 3.5 years. We never want to take 3.5 years to make anything ever again.
Yeah, we've heard that a bunch of times on this show.
I'm going to say never. You can find someone else to make your 3.5 year game with. Never again.
Oh, man, I can't end this show without asking you guys about the soundtrack. I love the music in this game. I'm sure not everyone is going to be a fan of all the wubs, but I still enjoy. I thought it was a really good soundtrack. Tell us about the music.
Okay, so I was just reading our little local paper. Like, we live in a very small town.
The Noosa News.
And there was a 14-year-old boy lived just down the road from us, won a national competition. It's called Triple J Unearthed. Anyway, and I listened to some of his music. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This is exactly what we want for Ninja Pizza Girl. So I just sent him an email, said, hey, have you ever thought about making, music for a game? Are you interested? And he came around and visited. He brought his mum to meet us.
Well, he had to bring his mum because you can't drive.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to go meet some random people off the internet.
Yeah, that's right. They say they make internet and the video games, and they're totally legit.
But yeah, his name's Max Maars, and he's a very talented young man.
He's a very talented young man. So, I don't know how old he is now.
15, 16?
About 15, 16.
Wow.
But yeah, so a lot of our game was made by teenagers.
Outsourcing to the young ones. That's awesome.
Made by teenagers.
Cheap labor.
Made by talented teenagers. But yeah, his track was just perfect for it. I think that change in music where you go from like being okay when you hit that, when the main character hits that high mood and the music changes, is just perfect.
Yeah, everything slows down for a second and then the music picks up.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. A really good experience. I really dig the game, and I'm thrilled that you guys were able to make it on the show and talk to me. Finally, after all these months, we made it happen.
After all the build-up! Hooray! I can't wait to talk to you again in another 3.5 years.
That sounds great. Let's schedule it out now.
Yeah.
3.5 years, so mid-2019?
Because you'll still be going.
Probably. If my heart's still going. Comes down to that.
You'll just have more cats.
I'm already at 8. Don't say I'll have more.
Oh.
Your voice will actually be muffled because of all the cats between you and the microphone.
People listening they'll just hear like purring the entire time because the cat is laying on the microphone.
Be cool. That'd be a great show. I'd listen to that.
I'm sure a lot of people would. We have people who join the Twitch streams when we do our live streams, hoping that someone is using a camera so that they could see my kittens.
Yeah, I find it. I'm a bit sad we missed out. Yeah. I would love to see your kittens.
Well, when we're done, I'll see if I could get the camera hook. That I have it plugged in, but it doesn't show up as working, and I don't understand why.
Technology.
Probably the fact that I'm using like a 10-year-old Xbox 360 Vision camera on my PC.
So,
as intended, clearly.
Yeah. That was good. Is there gaff tape involved?
Surprisingly, no. It just plugged into USB and sitting on top of my monitor.
All right. Okay.
I should duct tape it down, though, because the cats knock it over constantly.
Yeah, well, duct tape, that's pretty much my only solution to technical problems.
There's a bug in the game. Get the duct tape. We'll make it
duct tape, more tape.
It'll work somehow. We'll figure it out.
Add more lens flares.
So, I one more question I need to ask you guys. What are you guys playing?
Oh, that's
when you're not playing your own games or making your own games, what are you playing to relax?
You've got a lot of cool games. Okay. Well, it was just Evo. I don't know if you know what Evo is.
Yep.
Of course. Okay, so that prompted me to get out my good old arcade stick and play a bit of Street Fighter V. Prior to that, I was playing Dark Souls 3 because it's a great game. It's a great game to relax to.
I am shocked that a game developer is playing a Dark Souls title. That is
good because...
What do you guys pass notes that anytime a new Dark Souls game comes out, every developer in the world needs to play it?
I don't think Tim and Nart play it. I don't think Witchbeam play it.
Huh.
I think. No, wait, no, they do. Sorry, false alarm.
I have to say, at least 90% of the people we talk to, if they've developed a game, they are playing Dark Souls right now.
Well, that makes
Bloodborne.
sense. because the nature of game development and the nature of playing a Dark Souls game is very similar. So there's probably that synergy there. And that's it for me. I do want to play the latest Tomb Raider.
Nice.
I haven't gotten to it yet. But I will. I promise. What have you been playing?
Well, we've joined the Pokemon Go revolution.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon Go!
Like everybody else. And I haven't played it yet, but I've got Dropsy sitting on my...
Oh, Dropsy.
Sitting on my desktop for when I have 5 minutes to myself.
Because a friend of ours has been recommending Dropsy to us for about 2 years now, or ever since it came out. And he's just been wearing us down.
I have not played that one.
I'm not familiar with it. That's fine. It's one of those games that slipped through the cracks. And we really believe in hunting down. It's funny, I'm writing an article now on hunting down the games that slip through the cracks, because out there's like your favorite game of all time is probably one of those games that no one else has heard of.
I'm lucky in that my favorite game of all time has a very, very strong cult following. Earthbound.
All right.
That will always be my number one game.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Love the music in the game, just love the gameplay. Earthbound has always been my number one.
Wow. Okay. Well, for everyone else, for everyone who hasn't found their number one, I believe you should. And besides which, he wouldn't leave us alone until we bought it.
So I guess big Pokemon Go fans down there?
Yeah, well, we love walking anyway.
Has it taken over Australia like it seemed to have completely taken over America?
Yeah, it soft launched here before it hit the rest of the world.
Yeah, we had it before you guys.
Yeah, you did.
So, yeah, before it was cool for, 24 hours. Before they went, oh my god, this is a monster hit, release it everywhere, go, go, go!
And then the servers break everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we love going for walks anyway. So.
We play a lot of board games.
I do play a lot of board games.
Although not lately, because
No, I do remember one time when we did play board games.
Yeah. Before we went to the launcher game Crazy Place.
Yeah. Pre-launch is not a time in your life when you're playing a lot of games.
Too busy working on your own, I guess, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. That's why Pokemon Go is good, because you play it while doing errands.
Hey, that works. Believe it or not, I might be one of only 10 people in the world who has not played Pokemon Go.
Yeah, well, that's...
Yeah, you'll be able to get a certificate soon.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I own a Windows phone, so I'm just fucked from the start.
Oh, yeah, there was a petition going around on the internet with like 1 billion signatures for them to bring it to the Windows phone.
I'm sure if it comes to Windows Phone, I'll grab it and finally break down and give it a go. I mean, I do have an iPad, but it's Wi-Fi only.
Yeah,
so playing at home just doesn't have the same allure of walking around and getting hit by cars trying to get Pikachu.
That's right. That's the fun of being oblivious of the real world and getting yourself killed.
Exactly.
That's a challenge.
It is, particularly here. Because it has led us walking through forest filled with snakes because we saw what we thought was a Pokemon in the bushes.
So in America, people die playing Pokemon Go by getting hit by cars. Yeah. In Australia, people die playing Pokemon Go by walking into a forest and getting presumably eaten by something. You just
disappear. Australia's a big place. You just walk into the forest and don't come out.
Ever.
And because it's dangerous to go looking for you, everyone just shrugs and gets on with their lives.
We knew him for a while. He was okay, I guess. Yeah. We'll find someone new.
Pretty much.
He's a good son. I knew him for 20-some years.
Yeah, he was all right.
He had a good run.
Yeah, you know. That's pretty much how it goes.
Oh, well, Jason, Nicole, it has been fantastic chatting with you two. I'm thrilled that the game is finally out this week on consoles. What's the price of the game?
Oh, God, I don't know.
$9.99.
$9.99.
$9.99. Good price. Awesome price. I hope it sells well for you. What do you guys have a release window for the Wii U version?
Sometime in August, we hope.
August.
Yeah.
Should be early August, but we can't confirm that yet.
No, we can't. Like, there's a process between submitting it to Nintendo and getting the all clear to release, and we don't know. That's a variable amount of time, but we will announce as soon as we know.
Well, as soon as you know, let us know, and we'll spread the word about it, because it is good to see Wii U gamers getting some stuff as well.
Yeah. Oh, hell's yeah.
But yeah, it's been fantastic talking to you two. Thank you so much for making the time to come on. Is there anything else that you two want to say about the game or about anything in general?
The weather's nice here.
Is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You should come visit.
I'll talk
That's
to the
an
wife.
open invitation to everyone listening. You should come visit here at Noosa. It's lovely.
There's a couch waiting for you down there.
That's right. There's couch, there's games. We'll hang out.
Sounds good. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to take you up on that offer.
Oh, sweet. Do you play Street Fighter?
I have not played Street Fighter V. I was actually turned off by I had the collector's edition pre-ordered, and then I was turned off when the producer of the game was asked about Xbox fans, like, what would you say to Xbox gamers who want to play Street Fighter? He was like, oh, well, now's a great time to buy a PlayStation 4. You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to cancel my pre-order. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
he should have said, well, yeah.
He could have said so many different PR quotes like, well, we appreciate our Xbox fans, and unfortunately...
Really sorry. Yeah.
Instead, oh, now's a great time to buy the system, or to not buy your game and to spend that money on something else.
Now's a great time to fuck you.
I've had a bad relationship with PlayStation to begin with, and him saying something like that, I skipped the game because of that.
No, look, I completely understand. I was a little bit upset myself, but them's the deals you make.
I'll grab Tekken when it hits Xbox One next year.
Out of spite.
Yeah.
I could buy
fuck them.
every fighting game but Street Fighter.
Hey, Killer Instinct is awesome, so I'm having fun with that.
Oh yeah, oh nice. I don't like it. I can't get into it. I can appreciate it. It's not for me. No Hadoukens.
I mean, Jago has his down forward fireball, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know, but does he yell out Hadouken?
True, very true.
I just need that. No, I need that in my life. It's weird. I get this weird physical response if I go more than a few months without moving my joystick quarter circle forward and hearing a virtual character go, Hadouken!
Now, I'm crossing my fingers that Capcom will give us like Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix through backward compatibility or something on the Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that could happen.
Good stuff.
That's something.
Good stuff. So yeah, do you have any final words to give our listeners? That was perfect. Good. No, we don't. We have no life advice. Look, okay.
Play our game and tell us what you think of it. We'd love to know.
Yeah. That's right.
Love it, hate it. We want to
Love
know.
it. Tell us what we should do next.
Yeah.
Because we don't know.